Evening, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are at the Open Moba Championship with the pilot edition, and it is hosted by TXG Expo Nagaland and presented by Nagaland Esports Society. With that, let's start the day number one. 32 teams have been registered, and this is going to be day number one. And you know what's interesting right here? It's going to be the best of one series. So Crux, let me welcome you. Hello, how are you doing today?
It's a great day to be alive, and hey, today we've got Team Lacerations versus Team. Oh, wait, no, forgive me for butchering this name, yeah, but it's TCS Nevrine. Please do forgive me for butchering this name, but yeah, it's TCS Nevrine on the blue side, if I'm not wrong, and no, the red side, and the side it's Team Lacerations on the blue side. Hey, fun fact: lacerate is what Eamon says when he uses his ultimate with his skin. What's the name of the skin? The collector skin. I forgot the name. Oh, yeah, I forgot the name. So he just shouts lacerate, and we've got them on the blue side for some reason. Do you think they're gonna pick Eamon today?
Oh, high chances though. Best of one series is just better to go for your comfort hero. So maybe yes, let's see. But hey, the draft has been very quickly, and we are already getting a first pick now. With the first pick right here, Cherry is going for the strongest goal laner as of now. But I do believe there are heroes who are, just way ahead of Freya. So how are they going to get a counter?
Look, the only viable counter to Freya would be Phoveus, and that Phoveus is banned,
I've been
obviously.
waiting for too
The other
long.
one would be Mincetar, but nobody
I
really
am the
picks that
power
because
of light
it's a hit or miss
incarnate.
kind of hero. We've got, though, however, something very, very dangerous. Kaja getting picked onto the side of Team
The Immortal One chose me to
TCS.
vanquish the
TCS, yes,
shadows that
TCS.
plague this
So
world.
TCS get the upper hand, getting themselves the Kaja, and also carry. I shouldn't have been saying that. Damn.
No worries. But with that, let's see. Oh, Suyu, one of the strongest pick as of now
Sun
into the
rises when I
jungle
give the word.
area. And yes, that is going to be the jungle right here. Now, again, Suyu does have the capability to farm faster and just get away with those uh, neutral objectives as well. So that is going to be an interesting matchup. The retribution is going to be a bit interesting to see, but how will Kaja be able to stop him? That is going to be a good match to see. But other than that, to counter a Suyu, we are getting a Bakshia.
Look, all honesty though, I understand why both of these teams are picking what they're picking because Kaja can be a very big pain, especially for the jungle department. His first skill plus the passive, the whip, would actually be able to steal the jungle buff or yeah, a jungle the buff from the enemy jungler at any given point, especially in the early game. So obviously, to counter out someone who can actually invade, you want to put some pressure on the enemy side too. That being the side it seems a lacerate. I think Miracle Boy knew that very
No
well. They got
protection
themselves
from the
that
rain.
beautiful Khalid pick. We've got the second banning phase running through pretty quickly. We've got the first ban being Lunux, and the second one being Boxia. Lunux being one of the only other heroes that actually are meta is a meta viable hero that can do true damage. Well, there is export, but nobody really picks export. And since most of the other, possible EXP laners and junglers have been picked up, no, I don't think Freya is going to go in the EXP lane. That's going to be in the gold lane. But nobody's going to pick export, and though they can actually, they can, especially against Uranus.
That is true, though. That is true. So let's see if they are actually going for those kind of heroes or
Valor and
not. But
royalty
other
in a
than that,
dead body.
hey, Leomord out of the way. Just that could be acting as a counter for the Suyu. Now, with that, that means there is going to be EXP laners popping up from the blue side as well. Now, onto the blue side against a Uranus, you have number one option, a Freya, number two option, just go for something towards the team fight and just clear lanes, go to team fight, clear lanes, go to team fight. That kind of a situation also be very, very good. So I am curious to see what will the team go opt for.
Oh, look at that. They're hovering over Valir with the Demon Lord skin. Not gonna lie, that's got a lot of aura. Just the sad
Humans.
part, it being a skin for
Disposable by
Valir, and nobody
design.
really picks Valir. But today, we're gonna see Yi Katam get the, pick onto Valir. I think it's kind of valid. You've got Freya, you've got Khalid. Once you have yourself Valir, you're practically gonna be able to, not immune, purify yourself without a purify from Freya.
Harness it.
Khalid and Freya jumping on top of you and also knocking them back, keeping some space within your team and the enemies. I think that's a valid pick here. But the side of Team Lacerate, they've gotten themselves the Valentina. I actually expected that to go in the XP lane, but no, it's going to be in the mid lane. They've got the opportunity to take the Kaja's Divine Punishment, Divine Judgment. And also, they've got a backline tiebreaker with Yuzong. I think that's going to be a very tough time for Marimo to actually, stay in the backline and stay alive. But hey, look at that. Dorothy is going to get himself a Fredrin. I think that's kind of valid, but the slow jungle rate from a Fredrin could be a little bit of a problem. It could be a caveat for the side of team TCS. I'm not going to pronounce the other side of that, but TCS, it could be a caveat if they actually jungle slow. But with Kaja being there, I think they can actually get that jungling speed up to the margin that they need to be, because especially against a hero like Suyu, it's going to be necessary to actually keep up with his speed in the jungle. Oh, look at them making fun of me. They're not even
me.
Oh, come on, dude.
You should.
My goodness, the picks are really looking good from both the sides. Both the teams are ready, but the only problem that stands between them is this is the best of one series. That means no redemption match will be happening for them. You qualify if you are going to qualify. If you play well, yep, you are going to. But if you just start making any bit of mistakes as well, and the enemy starts taking advantage of them, it is going to be a downhill. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about this draft? Because both the sides really, really strong, and these teams are all ready.
They're all ready right now, but look, I'm going to be very honest with you. There's no real counter to Uranus, but again, Uranus is a sandbag. You got to run around. You got to stay alive. That's what you've got to do as a Uranus. Soak up damage, make sure the enemies use up a few skills. Even if you die, you give the upper hand to your team. So the side of team TCS, they really got that oomph power to themselves. They've got the carry to take down any tanky front line, and they've got the Valir to push them back and keep them away from their teammates. And hey, look at that. We're in the land of Dawn for this first exciting match, Lacerate versus Team TCS, the Lacerations. You think they're going to be able to actually pull it off? I think TCS has got the upper hand here.
Ooh, let's see about that, because execution also matters in this kind of gameplay. Best of one series, the pressure is quite high, and as expected, Cherry waves for the gold lane. Now, KLA has the one chance to rotate very quickly towards the gold lane, take away farm from carry, and make sure that this carry won't be farming up as quickly as possible. That is going to be one viable option, or just go for the crumbs that the teams are going to lose around. Onto the same note, Uranus being pushed out onto the tower. This is really surprising for me.
All honesty, though, I know that the side of Team Laceration could actually be in a difficult position, but their decision-making in the draft itself is absolutely crucial to the advantage that they have right now. Kaja cannot leave his teammate, his jungler, alone. He has to make sure that he's going to stay alive. Oh, but look at that. We've got him engaged the bot lane. We've got that Petrify keeping Uranus inside the kill box that Yuzong put in there. Khalid jumping in. We've got Valentina cutting off his escape route. That was an absolute spectacular kill. Now the side of Team TCS are making an engage towards the bot side. They're trying to put some pressure in. And all honesty, though, Kaja is doing a good job. But, when you're forced to actually sit and babysit your jungler, that's a bad position to be in. Look at that. We've got a continuous engage. The big black dragon in the air. We've got Simon getting the kill on Dorothy. And that's going to be a very, very bad position for the side of Team TCS to be in, because right now the first turtle of the match is just going to be spawning in. And that's going to be one hell of an easy turtle for the side of Team Lacerations.
For Lacerations, yes, and on top of that, they have the Suyu. That is going to be another plus point onto their hand. So this means KLA will have to be a bit cautious. He does have this retribution right on time, or Dorothy as well, but not going in for that, and rather for the own buffs. That is also another good thing, though, since they were the ones who did not get the advantage onto the early games. But as the match progresses, and if Team Laceration continues the same, Team TCSX Nevrine have to start thinking about how to counter them or how to get the game back onto their hands. Cypher onto the same note, he is trying to get the poke in. Kaza is also known for the poke.
But look at the positioning of the side of Team Laceration. They've got all of their members there. That's going to be a big problem. The side of Team TCS, they've got to all put their, chips onto the top side, especially to keep the Fredrin's buff from being invaded. But look at that bot side. We've got, Yuzong passively just attacking, Uranus. Both of them healing a lot of HP from each other, because obviously the radiance from the, Uranus would actually keep him alive. The shot residue for the Yuzong, they're not going to actually be trading too much damage whatsoever. They're just going to stay alive. But top side is where everything is going to be happening. Miracle Boy positions himself very well. He's got the Kaja's ultimate. He's possibly going to jump in and catch the carry. The carry he knows that's not going to be a possibility. He knows that he's not going to allow that to happen. But look at that. They're trying to force it in. We've got the Khalid's ultimate, the Flicker too. We've got the Divine Punishment. No, it's not there. We've got him taken down. Katham gets the kill on his counterpart. The mid laner has taken down the mid laner in the top lane. Migration? I think not.
Oh my goodness. That was a bit chaotic team fight that was happening, and Kelly was able to take it away. That is crazy. This is one of the strong points of Asuyu. You can actually immune a bit of a damage that is coming in and actually pop retribution right on time. With few of the other junglers, you cannot do the same, especially for the Fredrin. So the disadvantage is there on his hand. Stereos, on the other hand, starts up the turtle for his teammates. Now very quickly they just melted down. Cypher, on the other hand, waiting for a setup. There you go, the setups is here. Suyu jumps in, he's trying to do some damage. Eroko with the flicker, but his teammates are getting beaten up. Gi Khatam is trying on to their win at a safe position, but now flicker Divine Judgment, and that is going to be the death for Simon. With that double kill for Wally, they're striking back, playing under the grounds of Team TCS Laceration. They were losing on a bit of a goal since it's not even 5 minutes.
Hey yo, I can understand Dragons getting roasted, but Khalid, he's from the desert, man. We've got an engage in the top side. That's going to be a lot of damage on the Kaja. Cypher getting kicked down, and that's going to be followed through with more damage from the side of Team Lacerations. They're trying to lacerate Carry, but that's not going to be happening. Carry's playing pretty safe. We've got the Kaja's ultimate. We've got Franz Valkyrie's descent, and that's going to be a kill inside the tower, and that's going to be a lot of pressure for the side of Team TCS to actually avoid. Look at the Raging Sandstorm taking down Valier. Finally, Geek Cutham gets taken down. But hey, funny fact, yeah, the side of Team Lacerations is absolutely stomping against TCS, who've had a better draft. Carry cannot pick up the pace, at least now. Look at the Divine Judgment getting placed out, Flicker forced out, and that's going to be Khalid trying to run away on a Raging Sandstorm, not Sandstorm, a Raging Sand Skateboard, yeah, skateboard, yeah, that's the word.
The skateboard it is, but onto the bottom lane, Aero with Simon. That's going to be the 1v1. Both the teams, both the heroes just healing up each other. Winar, onto the other hand, he knows he can make a setup, but he needs a bit more time, because once TCS, are starting to fight back, they are the ones who cannot re-engage as quickly as Team Laceration. So they are playing it cautiously as of now, picking up a bit of the buff, the creeps out from the Dorothy is just going to be there, but teams have not started to open up the maps.
They have, actually. The side of Team Lacerations, they've taken down 2 towers. I think that's going to be very important to them. It's crucial, obviously, but it's the bot and top towers. The mid lane tower is still alive. They get themselves the 3rd turtle of the match. That's going to be Kelly. Yeah, Kelly getting himself that beautiful, beautiful turtle soup. They're trying to go in, take down the tower. They do take down the tower. They're going to use the Valkyrie's descent. They're going to follow through, but I don't think that's a good idea. Kaja still has the Divine Punishment. he could always catch you. Freya is still standing strong. He's not going to be, the target of Kaja just yet. But the side of Team Lacerations, the pressure that they've built up until now, they're absolutely stomping. And look at that. We've got the Divine Judgment getting used up on the enemy Uranus. He's still alive. Guess what? The guy is unkillable.
That is true. That is true. It's a Uranus after all. With that kind of a HP plus the healings, you definitely need your anti-heal up as quickly as possible. I'm pretty sure the mages especially are going in, but no! Cherry Waves jumps in with the Valkyrie descent, but teams flicker out of the way, especially for Mariva, who has to position us very, very in a good position. Onto the same note, Valid is quite annoying. Look at him, stunning left and right. Winter tries to go in, but tanking as a tank, he's doing his job.
Absolutely, man. Fredrin, dude. He's doing his job too, but he's not able to actually set up a good set of kills here. But look at that. We've got the Petrify 3-man combo. We've got Kelly jumping in, getting a kill on Carry, and that's going to be a big Black Dragon in the air, allowing his teammates to actually do more damage. Kelly following through, he gets double kill, and that's going to be a triple. He's going to go in, try to get the Maniac, but no. Cherry Wave says, "Nuh-uh, this is my kill."
Look at them fighting back. Look at them. They are trying to give that kind of a gameplay where they just don't want to go down so easily. Left and right, the minions are being pushing, given the fact that there was a bit of a pressure from these bigger minions, especially the cannon minion, who have been, piling up twos in twos and threes. So that is going to be how TCS Nevrine has to get up and go towards their lane. They have to start looking after the lanes, because once you reach towards that holy crystal and the holy shield popping off, it's going to be real difficult. Simon, on the other hand, tries to open up the map, since Winter is all about that setup.
Not true. I mean, the side of Team Lacerations, though, they're doing pretty well for themselves. The side of Team TCS have completely ignored the idea of trying to contest for this Lord. They know it's just a Lord dance. They're trying to make sure that the enemies actually pop up. TCS, they are not going to be that stupid as to fall for such a small trick. And obviously, they give the side of Team Lacerations the first Lord of the match. It's easily defendable, but look, the top side is not going to be easily defendable. We've got Kaja's ultimate being copied, getting Uranus back into his base. But hey, overall, we've got another team fight. That's going to be Frederick jumping in as the front line for his team. TCS, though, the Appraiser's Wrath is not going to be enough to do any damage. Raging Sandstorm in the back line, catching 3 people. And that's going to be a Yuzong. Simon jumping in, making sure that he actually sacrifices himself to give the team a big, big advantage after that beautiful Lord securing from their side.
This Wipeout really doesn't look good, and there you go, the base fight open. Cherry Waves really going for that, but Arrow trying to get the cannon minion way out of the way. The best of one series going down into the hands of Team Laceration.
That was surprisingly fast, not gonna lie. The side of Team Lacerations, I'm gonna be very honest with you, I didn't believe the draft was all that good, but the ability of them to actually pick up the Khalid after the side of Team TCS that got themselves the Kaja limited him to actually not being able to actually roam around the map as freely as he wanted. He had to protect the jungler. Otherwise, obviously, the jungler would outcompete with the Kaja. Because obviously, it's a Fredrin against a Khalid versus a Suyu versus a Kaja. So it's definitely going to be in the side of Team Laceration's favor that they got themselves the Khalid. The absolute amazing mind games from them is crazy. I did want to mention that, but overall, I believe that the side of Team TCS had the better draft. But hey, the side of Team Lacerations, they had the better gameplay.
100% right there. Look at that. Even the scoreboard really speaks a lot as of now. And, I was kind of skeptical about the Khalid right here in this kind of a team composition, but he definitely shined through with 87% of team fight participation. That is definitely a lot when you are a tank.
Hey, but one thing that I want to mention, we have to put the highlight on this. Khalid has 1% damage on the tower. Not a single person from the side of Team TCS had 1 damage. Bro had 271 more damage than everyone from the side of Team TCS. Come on, it's a tower defense game. Push the towers.
That is true. That is needed. But hey, they won the game.
They definitely did. The side of Team, Lacerations. That Khalid pick, unorthodox, especially for that kind of composition, but they did amazing. The side of Team TCS, though, they had a better draft. I actually did think that they actually would come up on top, especially in the later stages of the game. But it didn't seem like the side of Team Lacerations had any plan of extending the game post the 12-minute mark. And hey, they actually ended it. They made sure they actually put a name out there. That's Team Laceration.
100%. And with that, let's take a short break and we'll be right back with more games because the teams are really waiting to get towards the next round. Evenings. Once again, we are here on to the second match. Crux, are we ready?
Yes, sir, we definitely are. And that's going to be a replacement for both of the previous matches teams. Now it's going to be Team Lunar Eclipse on the red side and Team Astral X Reaper on the blue side. Peachy, this continuation of this absolutely chaotic team fight set of matches will go on for the next 4 more games after this one, obviously. But this one, do you have anything to actually keep in mind for the viewers, obviously? Do you think there's anything that the viewers should keep in mind?
Hmm, I'm not quite sure where this is going.
Well, I'm quite sure because they've got to keep themselves hydrated. They've got to get themselves popcorn.
Oh,
Obviously, they've got to get themselves prepared for what entertainment we've got for them today.
definitely. Let's see what we have because both the teams really strong teams, and I have been seeing them on to the other tournaments. So definitely they are here to get this over very quickly and move on towards the
Immortal One
next round.
chose me to
With that
vanquish
Suyu
the
out of the way, the
shadows that
Grok
plague
and the
this
Khalid
world.
now onto the first match. The Khalid very, very strong. We have seen how the Khalid was actually giving the whole team the setup that was needed, and even against Akaja, they played it out very well. The same goes for the Suyuas.
Well, I mean, if you got two people jumping from the sky and coming out like as though they're heroes in a, anime, well, the only thing that the side of team, Lacerations were missing was Gata Kacha, because without the Gata Kacha, they've got the Valkyrie's Descent, we've got Freya getting wings all of a sudden after jumping into the air and then just crashing down on the enemies. We've got Khalid jumping in on a big tsunami that's full of sand, by the way. That's going to keep your eyes a little, just make sure your eyes are actually safe when sand comes into your face, because after that previous game, you've got to make sure you're safe. But when you've got both of them coming crashing down at your face, the only thing that you can do is pray. And that's what happened in the previous game. Thank God they didn't have a Gato catch up.
Ooh. Maybe this game I do want to see that hero
the
though. It's been
greatest mag
such
show
a
of all
long
time
time, but
is
here we go.
Banner.
Harley out of the way. Now with the Harley, the Zushin, it is going to be a bit interesting to see what will be picked onto the assassin or even the jungler. There's going to be a bit of a rise onto the fighter jungler, I believe. Maybe something like a Guinevere can be very
Different
good picks.
perspectives expose the same
True, but
truth.
you've got to make sure you pair up the Guinevere with something that's actually kind of like viable in the meta. They've got the option of taking the Atlas, possibly. That Fatal Links could be a very good setup for maybe Guinevere's Spatial Migration and Violet Requiem, but nobody really plays the Atlas in, higher up the meta picks, because obviously he's a very easy hero to ignore and evade all of his
I am
spells.
not
It's
the
very
only
easy,
one bound
so I
by
don't think
these
nobody's actually going to
chains.
pick the Atlas. But however, one thing that I'm sure about is if you're going to actually give the opportunity for the enemies to pick the Freya, you got to get yourself a Phobius on your side. That's what happened. Team Astral Reaper getting themselves a Phobius as the first pick, giving away the Freya, the carry, and other very strong heroes, I would say. But, well, Phobius can counter all of them.
So yes, here we go. This means that they'll have to start thinking about the dashes as well because in the team fight he goes absolutely bonkers.
True, but is that a gourd I'm seeing?
10 years
Are they going to
Yes,
pick a gourd?
of imprisonment.
yes, it is.
My magic will redefine
Fila, go
reality.
to the god.
Picking.
Look, I appreciate and I like the Christmas theme that you've got putting to your side, but why would you pick a gourd? I would rather you have an Eudora on your side. Gord is like the most stationary hero. That's a skill-based skill shot that stuns the enemy. If at all they actually, dodge that. Obviously, it is kind of easy to dodge the, magic projectile. But let's just face it. He's like one of. Oh, I was talking about Gata Kacha. He gets picked on the side of Team Astral X Reaper. But the Gord is what I'm, pondering over. Why would you pick that?
My
I've been
goodness.
waiting
Looks
for
like
too
our wishes
long.
are coming true. And talking about the gore, I feel like since this is the best of one series, so it is just better to go towards the comfort side. Maybe this player is very much well versed with a god, and why not try to get it over with? Because the god actually acts like a very good poke with his second skill.
I agree, man. I'm not hating on Gord, but the fact of the matter is that everyone's going to be very coordinated, and the side of Team Astral X Reaper is like a very well-known squad. If you want to put yourself in front of them, you've got to make sure you have heroes that can actually keep themselves alive, not a hero that's stationary during the ultimate. In
Crowned by
all honesty,
heaven's
though, I'm going to
mandate,
be very
my
very
legacy shall
practical here. The
endure.
Gord is one of those heroes that can actually just be taken out in a matter of seconds, especially by a hero like Lancelot, Yi Sun Shin. All of these heroes could just pop out of nowhere, take him out, and then there goes the magic damage from your side.
They call me a hero.
That is going to be
because I
interesting.
saved my
And you were
nation
talking
from
about the
falling
YSS.
apart.
It is definitely on the ban list coming in from Astral X Reaper. Now, I do remember Astral X Reaper existing to OP. He purely plays. Good goal laner, but against a carry this time around has the bit of an advantage that he's on a magic user, a magic goal laner. So I do want to see how they will be navigating towards the team fight when it is the mid and the late game. But back again to the draft, we are looking at the bans whenever out of the way, along with the Satan. Satan, understandable. The Satan and the Zushin, I feel like they need to be really put on the banning section.
I agree, but the Kadita is still available for the side of Team Astral X Reaper to pick. And with the fact that they have a Gord, Kadita is like the natural predator for the side of Team Astral X Reaper to pick. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I have a list of heroes that are much better than Gord. Not hating on him again, but I'm still against the idea of a five-man coordinated squad getting that Gord hero on their side against another five-man coordinated squad. That's not going to end well for your side. But I actually do like a show. I would like to see that. Please do pick it on the roaming department. I would actually appreciate it.
My
Okay,
mission
no.
is to
We've
protect
got the
Rome.
hybrid centaur guy that. Oh wait. Who was the person that was actually? Yeah, it's Hylos. Yeah.
Yep, hello as it is. And with that, I believe the student versus the mentor. If the Valir is
Oh.
gone, we would be seeing that kind of a situation coming in. But Valir also serves as a very good hero because Sir Zwauma is just going to jump in no matter what along with Sir Sanga. That is pretty good name though.
I agree, dude. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Sir Wise, I think everyone knows who Sir Wise is, and I think they're jumping on the train with that, that style of name. I actually could agree, but Sir just reminds me of teachers, and I don't like teachers. Like
Oh,
Kakashi, obviously. I was, but yeah, I stalled over there for a second. But what I wanted to say was I don't like teachers like Kakashi.
oh my
Thousand Years of Pain.
damn. I'm not caught up with that anime, so I'm not quite sure about. No spoilers, please. I will complete it.
I know Thousand Years of Pain is one of the abilities that Kakashi uses during the first few episodes when
No, no
first
spoilers.
few episodes. Do watch it, guys. If you know what Thousand Years of Pain looks like, make sure you put it on the comment section and tell me if you want to actually have yourself get attacked by that. Obviously not. I definitely know that everyone's going to say no. Please don't say yes. If you do, you need professional help. But Nolan here is here to try and help you out. Maybe also the side of team LE Lunar Eclipse could get some help with that Nolan because they've now gotten themselves some mobility. With obviously Hylos not having any mobility skills, Terizla only having penalty zone as his only mobility skill, and maybe the flicker. And Carry too. I think I think all these heroes are very streamlined. They're not going to be that difficult to catch for the side of team Astral X Reaper. But do you think they can actually pull it off?
Highly possible. anything could happen. I feel like even a comeback, epic comeback, is something that we may be able to see. So, with that, I would love to see that kind of a scenario coming in because first match really went in really quickly. Second match, I am seeing a lot of potential. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's head into the land of John. This is going to be Astral X Reapers versus Lunar Eclipse. Both the teams are very much inclined towards the celestial term, so and both of them got matched up together. That is really good.
Hey, I mean, both of them got matched up together. They both picked, the student and the teacher, and both of them are using Legend Skin. I think this is a match made in the stars, but that's only me. Decided team Astral X Reaper. They're facing off against Lunar Eclipse. Who's going to come up on top? The mid lane fights are still starting up, and nobody seems to actually be doing, fatal damage. Gatsa does seem like he's taking a lot of damage, though.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, the lethal will be such a good priority right here, but Wolfie getting poked out, the poke damage is really annoying coming in from the god, but lethal, I do believe it is Senyan who picks it up, and with that, it is quite important for Nolan given the fact that he's not in the meta and his damage may fall off if he doesn't have these snowball.
I can see that, but the thing is, Nolan is one of those heroes that actually is very good when you time him right. And I think when Walir doesn't have his flames to push him away, I think he's going to be an easy target. Harrius too would be an easy target. I don't think Phobius would, and neither would Gatot. Obviously, Gatot is the enemy of everybody who actually does physical damage in the game. He's a very tanky guy. But again, the side of team Lunar Eclipse do stand a fighting chance against the side of team Astral X Reaper. I am going to give them the benefit of the doubt, especially after the first game when I was surprised with the outcome of it, obviously. But the side of team Astral X Reaper, they might actually have the advantage here. Revitalize being popped up, and now Lunar Eclipse, they've got one less battle spell to actually use during the turtle fight, but look at that, we've got the ultimate from the Nolan, and that's cuts. Hayabusa took a lot of damage from that one, and I don't think he's going to be able to take the fight right now. He's trying to regenerate, but Hylos has caught him off guard. He's trying to push him away from the turtle, the side of team Lunar Eclipse, forcing down the blue buff. I think they're going to see a possibility. We've got the knockup penalty zone. We've got the full ultimate. That's going to be a Hayabusa getting taken down. Tornado is going to be taken down, and Happiness will also be taken down pretty quickly. No Happiness, no turtle. And that's a very sad situation for the side of team Astral X Reaper. And I take it back. Gord is doing pretty well.
100% right there. The Mystic Gush really came out at the right moment, taking away the crucial members. Now, this is really important when it comes to it, but at the same moment, top lane, there's going to be Babu with the flicker right on time. That response time was really very quick, and that was really refreshing to see. But Senyan, he needs to pick up kills, or else the Nolan will fall off.
Fair enough, but let me just be very... Wait, what? I forgot what I was about to say, but look. There's fireballs in the mid lane, and there's mystic balls. Oh, there's an ultimate from the Gord. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he definitely didn't get the kill. Hylo's trying to invade, but he does not find any opportunity to take it. The retribution has been used up, and the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they're trying to do something, but they might actually not want to push their luck too far, especially not in the early game right now. Look at that, the top lane, we've got Phobius getting taken down. That's going to be Senyan finally getting a kill on his chopping block, and that's going to be a very important kill there. But Peachy, I am going to completely disagree with you on one thing here, okay? The fact that you called it Mystic Gush, we do not call it Mystic Gush. We call it Kamehameha.
Oh my god, the new upgraded name really looks good, but wait a minute, Wolfie, he tries to push back. That means there's gonna be a bit of a stun coming in. A tornado onto the other hand. He'll have to get up the retribution coming in, but no, cutter, 4-man knockup. That was a very good AOG, but no, the teammates are really lagging behind the damage. That means there's no immediate burst coming in. Tornado onto the other hand, goes for the Fila, gets the double kill. Will it be a triple, because Surzwama looks quite low, almost right there for the stun, but no, Tornado is thinking 2 steps ahead. He wants the turtle.
Well, let's just be very clear here, yeah? I think the fact that Hayabusa does not have the blue buff is kind of a telltale sign that he actually kind of like messed up the retribution. But the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they don't have the retribution either. This is going to be no man's game. They've got to make sure they actually hit the, the ultimate, the spells at the right moment, not just the ultimate. But hey, look at that. They've got the Hayabusa Tornado, making sure he gets the turtle, but that's going to be costing him his life. Freela gets the kill, and that's going to be followed by Babu getting taken down too. Freela double kill, and that's a statement to be made by the side of Team Lunar Eclipse. Rotating back to the bot lane though.
Lunar Eclipse really pulling up with their kills and the goal. As of now, they did lose their turtle. That means they are bit almost catching up. I mean, the Astral Reapers are almost catching up. But looking at the items so far, God already up with the anti-heal plus a bit of a damage. The glowing one. That means he is going to pop up damage. I feel like the same should have been already coming in from our Valid as well, but that little bit of the first fight that just happened is just the result of him not able to get that before that. But existence to OP into the bottom lane, battling three people. AOG comes and tries to get away kid. Now that was definitely a good AOG despite not getting anything.
Existence 2 OP just handled himself against 3 of their enemy's most farmed heroes. And Freela didn't actually commit to that because obviously he still has the ultimate and everything. But the side, we've got Wolfie getting taken down. That's going to be Senian. Going into the backline, making sure that Wolfie gets taken down. But hey, we've got more fights coming up. We've got the Hayabusa, no engage though. He sees Babu getting taken low. He's going to go back and keep the casualties the minimum bot lane. We've got Kid taking a lot of damage. That's a man force that you can't actually reckon with. And that's what I was talking about. Harriet is more like a burst hero than anything, but hey, it's not a good idea to use your ultimate. Hylos trying to force his way into the enemy's jungle, trying to force his enemies to actually fear and run away. But beside a team Lunar Eclipse, they've got absolute economic advantage here.
That's true. The goal difference is really coming up while team Lunar Eclipse still trying to go for more AOG out of the way. That means Happy will have to play it safe and cannot go for the neutral objector. Sir Sangha very looking quite low, has to go back as well. But I do believe they are kind of looking for a lane or probably a member who can be a little of position before he goes back and recharges himself. But no, he doesn't wants to go. Now that Existence to OP is already spotted out, bottom lane is gone. Then no one can save that. Now mid lane, wait a minute, no lane fracture. That doesn't connect, but no, God will be there to back up, gets a kill. It's gonna be a killing spree. 4vs on the other hand has no chance against this carry. Carry takes away the kill. Fila looking quite low into the back lane, but now mega kill for Fila once again. Tornado, the slows is annoying him. It is getting to him for real.
I cannot believe the side of Team Asteroid Sweeper are struggling this hard. Kid getting the kill on Existence 2 OP. He was able to put a valiant effort in the bot lane to defend the tower, but now the tower is down, and he is taken out too. He's doing pretty well, but the side of Team Asteroid Sweeper, they're missing something. They're missing out on something very important, and I can't be the one telling you guys this. You guys know if I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. There goes the ultimate, the Glorious Pathway. That's going to keep the enemies from actually approaching Kid. Just 2 seconds away from getting that Ogi shadow kill on his face. Kid stays alive, and that beautiful Glorious Pathway, that set was absolutely amazing.
Let's see. Both teams are really trying to get it on, but especially for Lunar Eclipse, who have been way ahead of what they are doing. Look at them. They have been opening up the map. They have been taking everything in their advantage despite almost not getting it. But hey, they are going in for an invade.
Bruh, that minion, that cannon minion, absolutely crazy. We've got an invade. Hayabusa does not get himself the red buff. That's too bad. But hey, at least one of his teammates got it. Now the side of Team Lunar Eclipse, they're doubling down on the advantage that they have until now. They get themselves the first lord of the game. That's going to increase their economy, and that's going to be a total of 8,000 gold to their side. absolutely critical here. And Nolan getting himself the Malefic gun, he's able to do more damage to Happy and Babu. That's going to be even more interesting to watch how he's going to actually stomp on them. Because obviously, you don't expect a Nolan to kill anyone tanky, but this guy, he's got the farm, he's got the damage. He might just be able to take them down.
We might be able to. AOG is what the team needs as of now. Look at that god. AOG onto the back lane, but it doesn't connect anywhere. That means he's got almost taken the revitalize for him. He's trying to survive it on the slow. Pretty annoying to see as well. Will be taken down by Kid. Sanian onto the other hand. Connects his fracture very, very well. But existing to OP gets away with sliver of HP. That was definitely very lucky for him. But the Lord is gonna march down. There's going to be a holy shield though, but they need to bait it out, and I don't think they will be able to before this Lord comes in. But mid lane in jeopardy.
They're probably going to keep the tier 3s open if they actually engage and make a. We're crucial for team fight to actually take down one, maybe two people. But look at that, we've got the Mystic Push, the Kamehameha, taking the enemy's gold laner down to low HP, the Glorious Pathway, forcing them to go back and making sure they actually keep the enemies far away from them. But hey, look at that, we've got Senian taking down Existence to OP. Plays them a little too much in the early drafting side, but I think he's met his match. Tornado getting taken down too. We've got a Flicker Kit away from the scene. He's going to stay alive for now. 3 members alive from the side. It's the Astral X Reaper. But that's going to be enough possibly for them to defend against this minion wave. AOG connecting onto nobody. We've got the Phobias jumping in. Babu trying to do something, but Wolfie gets taken down. Mystic Gush on the back line. And that's Babu making sure he stays alive for... Oh, okay, I'm surprised he's actually still alive. Senian absolutely does not like it. Down. We've got the Existence to OP trying to do some damage. He does not have himself all of the items that he needs. Gets taken down by Terizla. But Kid, he's not stopping there. Terizla might have actually taken down his goal lane partner, but that's not going to be enough. Against the side of Team Astral X Reaper, they end up losing this match. That's a tough one.
Lunar Eclipse, congratulations for moving into the round of 16. Crazy matchup though, despite picking up a god which was truly unorthodox. But hey, you guys won it up now with a score of 5-1-8 and almost a contest for that MVP as well. Sanian picks up the MVP with 707. I did have like a feeling that the Nolan, since he was not getting the snowball, he was not trying to go into the team fights as quickly as possible into the early game, he might not get it. But Tornado though, that amount of invade is truly devastating.
I have a question here. Why did Hayabusa buy the War Axe? That's a sustain item. That's a sustain item. You buy it on fighters and stuff. You usually tend to get more damage on Hayabusa. Raw physical damage or physical penetration. That's what you go for as a Hayabusa player. What was Tornado even thinking? Well, it is what it is. I don't think I can actually, blame him. I would have made the same mistakes as he did. That was tough invade from the side of Team Lunar Eclipse. They actually did a very, very good job in their positioning and everything. So absolutely amazing gameplay from their side. Astral X Reaper, they end up losing, but they always do come back, bouncing back even stronger. So I'm going to wait for that one. And I bet all of you guys would wait for us to come back after a little break. But before we actually get into the break, one thing that I want to say is that none of these guys deserve the MVP. The only one in my eyes that deserved the MVP was the Cannon Minion who pushed down the bot lane tier 2 tower. It was like the guy had minions tonight. We steal the bot tower in his mind, and the guy just went for it. He just took it. Amazing.
True. What a game that we have witnessed, but it is time for break as of now, and let's get ready our next teams. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You guys are watching the Open Moba Championship, the pilot edition, and with that, we are moving towards the game number 3, FMF 5 Minds Forge versus Megatron Esports. Megatron Esports known for their gameplay, so I do want to see what they will be bringing up right in this match. And with me, I'm back again with Crux. Hello, Crux. How are we doing?
I'm doing great, and let's just be fair, yeah? I'm just gonna put some rapid fire references out there. I hope that people can get it. If you don't, too bad. If you do, well played. Trap, you've activated my trap card. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. And Skylar, I'm not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. If you know that, put it in the comments too. Cynthia, obviously, you got this Pokemon. Well, Garchomp gave me PTSD. I still have that music playing in the background, and then I have shaking in my boots. But overall, I'm just gonna give you that one for free because Cynthia. Anyways, we've got the first banning phase going through. We've got Hilda getting banned off. Marcel too from the side of Team FMF, and to the side of Team Megatron Esports, Freya gets banned. Do you think Azushin is valid? Because obviously every second pick team bans Azushin.
That's true. One of the heroes that have been very consistent in the band section right from her release. So this is going to be Megatron Esports. I feel like they will be the one who will be banning it up, but FMF, look at them already right here. Now it is going to be interesting to see how they will be trying to play against Megatron Esports, who have been in the tournament scenes for such a long years now. Even I'm curious. Crux, what about you?
Magic is my life.
I
Your
am, but
team
they
is
banned out the
banning.
Harry. Are these guys watching the previous games and banning the heroes according to that?
Highly
Is that
possible.
what's happening right now? Because we've had the second match, Khalid getting banned. The third match, we've got Harriet getting banned.
Valor
Why?
and royalty
Like,
in a
I
Your
dead
team
understand,
body.
but
is banning.
why? Do you think another Gord's coming in?
Oh,
Or Argus? Argus?
that
Hello? Argus?
maybe. I mean, I have not seen that hero once in a tournament, though. I feel like this year at least. Like there should be some more players other than
No.
you.
No. The hero does not get picked in any tournament whatsoever.
Sad. That is sad indeed.
Oh, are you making fun of me? Or no, not me. Are you making fun of my main hero? I mean, it's still me, but still.
I
Look at
would
her.
love to
She's
see
making
that.
fun of
The
you
clouds are
guys.
ever shifting, but
I
this
would love
heart
to see
will
an
remain
Argus though,
steadfast.
because I feel like 1v1 is very, very strong under certain circumstances.
It's more like not one versus one. If you've got a coordinated team behind you, Zushin is open and he's Argus, hello, no, okay, no.
Oh,
Oh, come
gee.
on, bro.
Don't get as high hopes high, I mean. Oh,
Dude,
is it a god?
Butterflies born
Nah.
by
honestly
Your team
wish,
is
speaking.
picking.
But
guided
bro,
by
they had
lantern's
me
light.
feeling good for a second there, man. Are
Oh
these guys
man.
listening on us? Because I bet they're not. But still, if they are, I will get so pissed off with the fact that they showed Argus and didn't pick it. But Zushin is a obvious pick because your first pick. If it's open, you gotta put Zushin in your team if you're first pick.
That's true. Now again, to counter Azushin, there are quite a few ways you can one pick up a Valir or even something like a Lilia. I feel like Lilia is much more popular against a Zushin,
Come
but at the
on,
same
Dexter,
time,
it's
Zatian is
showtime.
still open. But
Your
no,
team is
Team
picking.
Megatron Esports, they are much more interested onto their heroes that can disable them and try to make space for the other members so that they can deal the damage. Now the glue, the Claw's gonna be very slow right here, given the fact that he is very
I'm
dependent onto the
born with
items.
Your team is
Plus,
talent.
picking.
will have to look at his own position because GV versus Sneak Eye, their combo really looks very good as of now.
Did you just say Sneak Eye?
Yeah,
It's
I think
sneaky.
sneaky. Oh, okay, okay. My bad.
It's okay. I mean, in the end of the day, how did you come up with Sneak Eye?
I am very much, the emphasis on I more than the A and K.
The Immortal One
Did
chose
you
me
just
to
say
vanquish the
AK?
shadows that
Uh,
plague this
Really,
world.
let's not
Kevin?
continue. Let's not continue there.
Anyways, we've got the last pick from the side of Team Megatron Esports. They've gotten themselves their jungler too. Suyu gets picked on their side. The second banning phase running through. Carry's still open. A few heroes that are kind of notable, obviously. They're still open. And let's just face it, right now, what the side of Team Megatron Esports need to do, they've got to make sure they ban out good EXP laners that could actually keep up against,
I am
Glue.
vengeance
But it doesn't seem like the
incarnate.
case. I think the Moscow getting banned off gives Claude some you know, an opening in his lane to actually farm. The Spear of Misery could push him away from his minions, make him lose momentum in terms of last hitting the minions. So I think that's kind of valid. 1 versus 1, the Moskov Claude kind of like
Crowned by heaven's
tends to
mandate,
like turn to
my
Claude's,
legacy
to
shall
Moscov's
endure.
favor. But I still don't understand why it's ban worthy. You've got heroes like Carry who are much more threatening to your compositions, still open. So Moscow, why? If you want to, you can actually just ban Leslie because Leslie counters Claude completely. If you wanted to give Claude an advantage, but why would you ban a Moscow?
Moscow. Again, I feel like the teams are very well versed with FMF, or maybe with the grok they are trying to make sure that they don't get it, and in a way it's just better safe than sorry.
I will
So
choose my
maybe
own
they are
path.
utilizing that one ban on that manner, but moving forward, Zatian out of the way was expecting that, because Zatian right here can cancel quite a few ultimates, so it is good that it is placed on the ban section along with an Arlet. Arlet, long time no see, but into the ban, that is also very, very long time no see.
To be fair, Arla is pretty strong, but the moment that I remember every single time that when I think about an Arla is when Kelra just used Flicker against an Arla.
Among the plains
So
exists the
Arla does not have any
equilibrium,
fond memories in
which
my
I
mind.
was made for.
Argus does, by the way. Teams pick Argus if you want to. The side of Team Megatron Esports, they can't really pick it because obviously Blue got picked as EXP laner. If he's picked as the roamer, I think he's going to have a hard time, especially against heroes like, Zushin and all. There are going to be a lot of clashes, and I don't think Blue can actually do anything early on. So him being the roamer is not going to be the most optimal position here. But him as the EXP laner, I could understand. The side of Team FMF, they've gotten themselves the final ban. They're limiting the amount of mages that are optional for the side of Team Megatron Esports. Kadita's still available. And, well, since Zushin is picked, I think Kadita, not the best option, but he's still a good option.
My
Why are the
will
teams
burns
actually
like
getting in on the
wildfire.
Valier so much?
Oh, oh yes. Oh, trap. I feel like he might go for that, but you wrong.
Let them
Still being
play
a
the
viable
hero.
option,
I
and
will
I
be the
don't
truth this
like.
world
In my
desperately
opinion, I just don't
needs.
like Yuzhong right here, because I feel like he's gonna get pushed, pulled, stunned, immobilized, and every possible crowd control in the book as of now for Mobile Legends 5v5. Because given the fact that there is those kind of heroes in the enemy.
I agree, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, I'll just put this out there because obviously Yuzong does have a lot of easy time against the glue because obviously the moment he uses split and Yuzong uses any of his spells actually he gets a lot of life steal, so he can keep himself alive against the glue. It will be a stalemate in the XP lane. It will come across to them, that they can't really fight each other. They've got to make, oh, what is this? We're seeing a glue in the roam position. I don't think I recommend it, but I think the side of Team Megatron Esports wouldn't actually do a random choice like Glue Roam without thinking twice. There's no finite counter to Glue because obviously Vexana, Paramis, all of these heroes are a direct counter to Glue. But I think the side of Team FMF, they got some heroes that could actually work against the Glue, like Carry and also the Grok. Maybe keeping them away could be a good strategy. Keeping them away from the backline could be a good strategy. What do you think?
That's good. Like I feel like Team Megatron Esports, if they do get ego farmed up a bit, they can do it into the early game, but early game there is a lot of presence from Cynthia as well as Sneaky as well. So I feel like they may be able to get those advantages back onto their hands as well. But willpower, he will have to actually play it very, very safe against Skylar as well. Not the same I could say for Skylar, but will Skylar be able to get up, be very safe in his own lane? Because there is a lot of diving heroes from Megatron Esports.
I mean, technically, he is supposed to be alive. Obviously, Suyu is the only one that could actually threaten him early on. Uranus, no chance is he gonna actually, stay alive against that.
Welcome to Moba Legends.
Oh, let's see. Land of Dawn, here we go. It is going to be Megatron Esports versus FMF. With that, this is going to be an interesting match, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you guys are ready. And for Megatron Esports, I'm pretty sure you guys are cheering them loud. Let's go. Mid lane priority. GV though, it's gonna take in a lot of damage. We'll see about that because first blood might be happening right here. Super IMM still right there. Cynthia, on the other hand, is playing it a bit safe, getting poked left and right and giving out the vision. That means Super IMM is just giving the signal in that it is safe as of now to take away that. Skylar, on the other hand, will have to play it very safe. The early game poke coming in from the Claude is too much for the top lane, so safe. Mid lane, I feel like there's going to be something happening if Ego jumps right in. An illusion be able to get those heroes down because GV looking quite low. Super IMM thus gets pulled off GV with the flicker, and that is quite an early flicker. Turtle's gonna be a bit interesting to see because no flicker ult the combo not gonna be there. And with that, first blood already done. Super IMM did manage to pick up a kill right there. And on to the second blood as well. I feel like that is going to come around that Turtle. Turtle's going to be up in 15 seconds. That means the team FMF, who have just lost their members, they have 15 seconds to think if they won the lot or not. If they are going, they'll have to meet with Ego, and on top of that, they'll have to take him down because his combo with the Retribution and the Soul Saver is quite a lot. But now it is the opposite happening. Looks like the Guinevere down, and it is an easy total for Megatron Esports.
Of course it is, because the moment you saw the glue in raiding, oh, look at that, we've got a team fight, we've got Grok in a bad position. That's going to be sticky, because obviously glue is hella sticky. No, don't actually put glue on your hands and just forget about it. We've got Dragon in the air, Claude's blazing duet, the monkey has taken down the dragon. It's a feat that is not going to be forgotten by anybody. But the fact of the matter is, glue was able to get Suyu in, the, what do you call it? The fire bear? I'm just going to call him Ricky. If anyone understands that reference, you are goated. But the moment that Guinevere lost that Ricky, he is going to be lower leveled and he cannot compete for the turtle. And that's what happened. The side of Team Megatron Esports putting a lot of pressure onto the enemies. FMF really losing in on it. And that's going to be Guinevere, sorry, not Guinevere getting the kill on Valir, who was caught off guard by that wall that partitioned him away from his team. No flicker, no escape. That's going to be Valir taken down.
Megatron Esports with 4 kills already onto their hands, and especially into the hands of Ego and Illusion. That is going to hurt a bit. I would love to see the items as well, given the fact that we are seeing a bit level difference between the junglers. And there you go. They looks like Suyu might be a bit ahead, not a bit ahead though, like 500 gold ahead, and that is definitely a lot into the early game. Onto the same note, Guinevere trying to make a setup, but due to the lack of presence of the Grok, he decides to wait it out. But his position is compromised as of now, and Guinevere is much more inclined towards the surprise gameplay.
Absolutely. Guinevere thrives on the fact that he cannot be predicted that easily. Could use this facial migration to jump away, but look at that, we've got a connection. We've got him in the wall, the air. But again, you know, Zushin flying up in the air, putting up people in the air, making sure that everyone's in the air for some reason is not going to actually be very good. The side of Team FMF, though, they've lost themselves their jungler again before the turtle even actually had any damage on him. But look at that, they're contesting even more the mid lane, Blazing Duet. And that's the dragon in the air trying to escape. The side of Team FMF take the L, and they've got to force themselves to go back into safe, you know, their safe corner, their comfort zone. I think that's actually the most smartest move for them to do. The side of Team Megatron Esports, they're pressuring down on FMF really bad. That's going to be Super M catching up, you know, the enemy Guinevere, and that's going to be an easy kill for the side of Team Megatron Esports. Sneaky does not seem to get a break here.
Oh, he's getting chased up in every single lane, be it his own lane or when he's trying to go for a trap. Onto the other hand, will be taken down 2-0-2 as of now, and that means into the front lanes there is no one along with GV. GV taken down. Cynthia will have to play it safe now. Onto the same note, Super MM tries to jump in, tries to take away the turret as well, but the mid lane being open, take it down. That's an easy access towards the purple buff now.
Absolutely, that's also an easy access towards the red buff too. The buff and the jungle department for the side of Team FMF have taken a big hit. The side of Team FMF, they have lost their jungle, you know, jungle advantage. The bot lane, top lane, mid lane, all tier 1s absolutely demolished. Tier 2s exposed. Claude seems to want to take the opportunity to push the tower in the bot lane, top lane. The side of Team FMF, though, they're completely ignoring it.
That's true. I love how Super MM is giving a lot of space for this Claude to actually farm out very comfortably. But wait a minute, Cynthia does get a split onto her head, and that means she will be going down. That's gonna be the Claude who takes away the kill, the first kill right there at the 6 minutes, and that really looks dangerous. But now, Sneaky jumps in, tries to go for the lower member health, but no, will be taken down. Onto the same note, the whole team almost gets wiped out.
That was an amazing 4-man set from obviously GV, but no damage whatsoever. Look, I just realized something, yeah? GV and Sneaky could actually make a good combination here. 4-man set, 5-man set, whatever they do. But look at that, we've got a connection on the top lane. Split catches carry, Skylar getting taken down. He's not the danger anymore. He is in danger. That's going to be a lot of danger towards the top side, and that's going to be another tower in the bot lane. Top lane absolutely standing on a little bit of HP. Bot lane already destroyed. Turtle spawned in. I don't think they want to go for the turtle. I think they actually should just jump in and get the first forward, so they put even more pressure into the enemy's, you know, tier 3s.
That is true, since the tier 2 turrets are already falling down into the mid lane. GV is trying to survive it out, but the burn damage coming in from the Valir is just too much as of now. And are you looking at the bounty? Suyu as well as Claude just picked up bounties. That means it is going to be a bit harder to kill, but if they are off guard, yep, it is a very easy. But onto the same note, you're right, Crooks, they are trying to take the turtle towards the Lord and end it up now. Mid lane, they can take the holy shield easily, but no, Team FMF are really aware that they are not letting it out because they are at a disadvantage, and the Lord's gonna jump in. And bottom lane, there is no
connection. We've got the ultimate for the Grok. That's a tectonic charge. That's going to be connected with the spatial migration and also the Violet Requiem. We've got a connection with the Zushin doing some damage with the Lantern Flare. And that's an ultimate. Another ultimate. A lot of flashy effects. Split. And that's going to catch onto one person. Glue catches that. Skylar making sure Eagle gets a double kill. Triple kill following through. It's going to be another one. No, possibly not. That's a fountain. Saved by the bell. The side of Team FMF staying alive just by the bell, dude, and that's not looking good for them. That's another tower down, tier 3 open. That's the Lord calling them. The side of Team Megatron Esports, they're like, we have to go to our calling, and they directly go for the Lord. Let's just be very clear about one thing, though. Zushin is just tickling the Uranus. I'm pretty sure I could have phrased that in a much better way, but Zushin is tickling that hero, but
True.
it's legit not doing any damage. You're just keeping the stacks up for his passive. That's just sad.
Oh my goodness, they are lacking in damage, they are lacking in the items, and that is very evident as of now due to the lack of gold. But they need to upgrade their defenses. They need to make sure that the Lord doesn't jumps in and towards the crystal, because once it is in the crystal, it will be very easy for Willpower to get down. But Super IMME is taking in too much damage as of now, but he is glue, so that means he knows he can go into split mode as quickly as possible. And on top of that, having the items on his hands, it is also another advantage. Illusion onto the other hand still tries to go for Skylar. He's aiming it very well, he knows where to aim, but the turrets are falling down one by one. Willpower does gets a kill, tries to go for the double, but no ego. He is trying to jump in now that the minions are coming in along with the Lord. What will the team do? Megatron Esports still pushing him down, but now trapped onto the front lanes along with Cynthia. Cynthia less mana and the crystal falling down. This is a clear win for Megatron Esports.
Victory!
I've heard the saying that you don't give a monkey a sword. Nobody ever told Claude that you don't give him a gun. And I think it's working out for him. Willpower absolutely shredding through Grok was a sight to behold. The side of Team FMF didn't really have an option to defend against the Lord, even the early game, because obviously willpower and ego it does not go hand in hand. And if you're talking in terms of psychology, but here they go hand in hand in terms of destroying the enemy base, and that's what we just witnessed. The side of Team Megatron Esports stomping on Team FMF.
100%. What a score. Cynthia, despite picking such a good hero, was really, really struggling to do something, and has the highest damage right here. They needed the, continuous crowd control. They needed to make sure to give it a lot, but the continuous crowd control did not come in as expected, given the fact that the early game and the mid game, Suyu just swept it away.
Let me just be very clear about one thing. Grok could just set up with one tectonic charge, and Guinevere only has to make sure that she just presses the Violet Requiem. You don't have to make sure you land the spatial migration, connect on everybody. The tectonic charge lifts the enemies up into the air already. You've also got the Zushin, who picks up people with a lantern flare after max stacks. You've also got Yuzong, who could petrify and then knock people up airborne with his third skill. You just had to make sure you landed the Violet Requiem, keep them controlled continuously. That would have been a death sentence for everybody in Megatron Esports. You had so many opportunities for good combinations to delay the game, get some farm for carry, obviously, who could eventually be the one that actually does damage to Uranus and also Glue. And that could have been a possible win condition for them, but it did not seem like they were actually planning on that at all. They were actually trying something else, and it did not work out. The side of Team FMF, I think that you had a good strategy up there. If you did think about it, if you didn't, well, now you know. But you had a good strategy. You could have used it. You did not. And, well, it was wasted potential, but their side ended up losing. I like the draft. I saw some potential in it, but the side of Team Megatron Esports, who had any doubts that they'd win?
That's true. Megatron Esports really ending the game with as one lot as quickly as possible. They know they had to just go quickly, and they are qualifying for the next round. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a wrap up coming in from PT and Crux. But don't worry, more talented casters will be back. And with that, are we ready to take a break?
Yes, sir. We are ready to take a break. Make sure that you guys stay hydrated. Oh, yeah. Make sure you guys stay hydrated. Make sure you all just sticky. What do you call it? Stay tuned, dude. That's all it. I don't have more energy to actually keep shouting at the screen. Just stay tuned, man.
Hello guys, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are back again for the TXG Expo Nagaland Championship that we have so far. This is the Moba 5v5. We have another best of one series that's gonna be coming up in any minute now. Onto the casting deck, if you see, we are gonna be changing into the panels here. I'm gonna be here with Sinru for the rest of the day, whether you like it or not. So Sinru, we have two
Wow.
teams again. Another best of one. What do you feel?
I think I need to feel a little bit more energetic there because they have to suffer with us, right? So,
Yeah.
hey, we are back again, and I'm really looking forward to what this tournament has gotten for us. And again, we are organized by Nagaland Esports Society, and our event partner will be TXG Expo Nagaland. So, the LAN will be very soon be held. But for now, we have to get done with the round of 32, right? The best of ones, something that actually determines which team will move to the next round. That is the round of 16. And we hope that both the teams that are playing in this match will give their best, will give the very good competition to each other. We would really hate for a one-sided game, but hopefully we do not get to see that so much. And yeah, Debbie, I want to ask you a very important question about the current meta. We are reverting back to certain old heroes which were not really popular about a month or two. I'm talking about the God, I'm talking about the Harley, and even a little bit more heroes that have been rising in this meta. You know, what do you think has led to that?
Oh, I feel like I do have an answer for this because God, if we talk about the God, in this composition where it's a bit brawly and the front to back composition is so much of a popularity into the draft for every big teams that we have seen so far, that
Among
made
the planes
Grok
exists
so
the
much more
equilibrium,
valid because he is
which
the
I was
mate
made
that can
for.
have a good positioning, maybe vulnerable to the back divers, but it's so good when you have this front to back composition as well. And he also have a 2 damage that make it so much easier for them to play around this hero, and there's a lot of combination as well. So I think that is also going to be the sole reason why it has been coming to popularity. But we'll see though. Not many teams have been able to utilize it that well yet.
Yep. I think nowadays, with the things that I'm looking at and the things that have been rising, I don't know why, because I tried a few rank games today. I know I should not be comparing the
This
rank and the
time,
tournament games, of
the
course, but
choice is
I
mine.
have seen the God popularity to a different level to the point that it's getting banned. And I kid you not, that hero is not supposed to get banned, but if you do not ban it, your life
Different
becomes quite harder if you're going for the
perspectives
utility
expose
draft
the same
at
truth.
true damage alone, right? You know the basics, right, Debbie? I do not have to explain it to you. So I think those things have been creating a lot of problems, but in this game, we are seeing some of the really unique heroes getting banned, especially the Xavier, something we have not seen much in the banning section, of course. The Eve, I think, very targeted ban, of course, if you're not wanting to go against that. Yeah, but the Zushin will be left open out here, the Grok will be left open, the Kaja, and a lot more. So the options are wide for both these teams.
Yep, very wide. I do like the wait. This is gonna be Insidious versus Kaki, right? Kaki, they have the red side,
Yeah.
so they are going a bit onto the target ban, I would say, because you usually see a glue ban into the second phase, as the Harley ban is a very exceptional one.
Yeah.
Now the Freya is open. Freya is actually there. You know, on any scenario, I would rather take the Freya than the Jushin because I feel like you already have an option to deal with the Jushin. But with the ban
Yeah.
onto the heal, they can
born with
still
your talent
get the
is
Jushin
ticking.
for themselves. But hey, no Freya. Huh. Okay.
Guinevere, I think it's a good flex though. Like if you are
Oh,
trying
yeah,
to
it's
just
great.
hide your strats, it's a very good flex. You can still use it in the roaming position. You can just, if you want to go in for the jungle, you can do that as well. And I'm quite surprised that they're not yet
southern
prioritizing the
seas are
Zushin, but rather
my
going for the Kadita for
domain.
more burst damage and the pick-off base composition that you would like to see. Very early Lapu Lapu, but still decent. Not a bad pick. I think the Countess will be available, and now they can deny the Kalea because the Kadita and the Kalea is a very good combination, right, Debbie? So
Yeah.
denying it might be a
My
best
tail's
option.
been itching for a real fight.
And I don't like the Kalea actually, but then if we talk, oh, there we go, the blue we were talking about, it's
Ooh.
finally coming.
Mm-hmm. New combo.
I don't new combo, but this is a very good combination. Kalea Guinevere is already good. You know,
The
one thing
immortal
I
one
hate about the
chose me
Kalea
to
here
vanquish
is
the
that we
shadows
have
that plague
Lapu
this
Lapu
world.
already, so it's gonna be a bit
Uh-huh.
tough for him to go for the sets most of the time because of the CC immune that he had. And now finally the Suyo making its appearance. It's one of the
clouds are ever
rare
shifting,
heroes
but
that
this
does
heart
well
remains
against the Guinevere
steadfast.
jungle, and I really like this Sora band though. They are trying to deny the composition. So they can eventually take away the Arlot as well if they are not sure if they're gonna have a good winning side. But then the heroes that we were liking hasn't been appearing yet. Though.
iron.
Your team is
I mean,
vanquished.
fair
Yeah.
enough. I get that. I get that. I know there are a lot of heroes that
I've
you would
been
want
waiting
to
for
see
too
on the
long.
board,
Is
but
banned.
yet not been picked. Especially
Yeah.
those heroes are not even being banned. That is what
It's
is much
not.
more concerning for you, right? I get that, Debbie. I think this is the thing about some of the teams that are playing the early rounds, right? Because they still want to play around their comfort a lot more compared to what we have been knowing in the current meta and the current patch. But
Your
at the same
team
time,
is
the
safe.
roaming heroes, the roaming options are getting quite limited, especially the heroes that can punish or that can actually slow down the Kalea a little bit, but still the Hylos will be open. I think even the Kaja is open. Good heroes to go against the Kalea, but a marksman is needed. The Claude is open, but they're instead going for the Clint. What are they thinking?
I would love a Claude here for the side of Insidious instead of Kaki because the
You can use the
combination is
Purify,
definitely
right?
gonna be there.
The Claude.
Oh yeah. Oh right. They in any side it would be so good. I don't know. I kind of have a second thought about this Clint.
Yeah.
It should be a winning lane for the if Insidious pick out a Claude. But then again, when you talk about a Claude, the lesser the fights are happening, the better it is for him right into the lane. So they instantly lock onto this cowboy guy. I don't know, man. This if
I'm
the
not
dive
liking
comes
it too
through
much.
here,
My
yeah,
kiss.
it's so
Will it
vulnerable, man.
grant
Oh my god. Now
Yeah.
see at least
Or
no Claude.
death?
I think there are very
Seems so
few
fun.
heroes. There are very few heroes that can actually utilize the Purify on a marksman, right? And
Mhm.
Come on, Dexter.
Clint is definitely not
team
one of
is
them. The
picking.
Claude does get picked, and the draft is looking very solid from Team Insidious. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking very front to back.
The thing I have a complaint about is the Elise pick here only because
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of
True love
units here.
is like
Now,
blood.
I
Yeah.
would love a physical man, or maybe I'm just glazing, but Arlott would have been so good here against the
I get
studio.
it.
But not in lane though, not in lane. Maybe I'm just, I'm just too obsessed with XP lane heroes, man. They're so good with this combination that they have created, but nah. But what about the Carmilla though? Carmilla? Here?
Mm, I was about to ask you the question, but I think your startled reaction has already given me the answer. So I'm not gonna be throwing that back to you. I think that
Okay.
Carmilla is a very much of a wild card entry that we are looking at, right? So I think it depends upon the execution at this point, to be honestly.
And she's on the revitalizer.
Revitalize.
So,
Yeah.
Carmilla early game heroes, she really doesn't have that much of an base HP if you compare it to other tanks. So I think the early revitalize will not
Welcome
be that much
to
of
Mobile
a good
Legends.
spell. But
And there's a lot of
maybe-
poke.
There's a lot of poke as well, and she's actually very squishy to the
Smash
enemy
them.
face, and there's no surprise attack whatsoever.
All troops
But along
deployed.
Naga man, I'm gonna have to trust in him because Suyo is such a good clear, jungle clearer.
Yeah, very fast though. Compared to the Guinevere, it's quite fast. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the land of dawn for this game. We'll see which team actually moves ahead in the series. It's gonna be Team Insidious taking on against Team Kaki in a best of one. But Debbie, looking at the early game, we already talked about the poke damage that can cause a little bit problem to the Carmilla and also the jungle clearance, right? But what about the side lanes? Are they standalone or do they need the help from the mid?
I feel like it has to be a bit focused onto the gold lane side, but then again, the gold lane focus should be coming through from Kaki because they should. Oh wait, mid lane. Lethal.
There's an Ocker?
Oh,
Just normal, nothing much.
normal. This little creep always have a fight. Always have teams fighting for it. And
They're
the
dying
ones
for
who
it.
get they die for it. Oh yeah, look at the early rotation though.
Really quick, but the revitalized man healing back up.
Something I like about the Revitalize is that if it is into the hands of heroes like the Gatot, the Hylos, but okay, jump though.
Oh wait, the first blood, and that is what we were talking about, right? The early game poke will be a problem, and you mentioned that not having enough HP on a support hero is something that could have been detrimental, and there's the live example.
That is what we are actually kind of worried about. And I think Insidious with the heavy laden amount of magic damage really wouldn't become a problem right at this one, because I think they don't
Yeah.
have the early game. Such a beautiful skin though as a collector. At least when
I bet you
I
wanted
don't know
to,
why I'm
right?
talking about it. I already have it. But
Oh, I see. That's why you're calling it beautiful. Very biased, Debbie, but then again, I mean, fair enough. I don't complain, but then again, do Team Kaki complain with the way Team Insidious are looking for a fight here? The total fight will already begin. The Toad of the Ruins will connect while the Retribution from Humble God will secure it. Sanford get a kill, but then again, the Violet Requiem will lock on onto his high Stevie, and he gets taken down, but then again, the Alice is not done here. Sanford is going in, and wow, I did not realize I was calling him Sanford until now. Nice name, man. Buddy.
I don't think he's actually a fraud, but that was an amazing crowd control, a big one at that, on the most important moment for their side here. Insidious, they're doing so good with the early game rotation that they have so far. The first neutral objective into their hands, which is a Guinevere, by the way, together with a Claude and a Gort and a Kalea as well. So this definitely will be giving them the leeway to have a good rotation up on top as well. The focus will mainly come into their side, no peel whatsoever. So let's see though. Kalea.
Oh, once again, a lot of poke damage. There is the Curse of Blood, and there is the Tsunami Slam. Look at the damage from the God, Mystic Gosh, dealing, almost deleting Ryujin before he could even blink out there. And there is the rough face taking down Y Kenny. And it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's gonna be a rumor for the goal laner, much better for the side of Team Insidious, not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is definitely so good for them. They can run the opponents down and they can get away with their early rotation up on top for Mr. Sanford here. He's definitely gonna try to do something out here. Look at him diving in.
He just came back, just to go back again to the base. Back to deaths on to the marksman, but then again the Lapu Lapu going in with the bravest fighter. There is the jump in and the damage you can see with the Throne of the Ruins stalking them all at one place. And there goes one more member taken down. Down for not actually for one. Humble God get taken down in that process, but still it's worth it for Team Insidious.
It's definitely worth it for them, but Sanford, man, there was an early good rotation coming through up into the top lane side as well, and then you know, when you rotate up on top, leaving your lane completely alone, it means that you want to go for a fight. And so sad of a day for Ryujin onto the clan, which we are actually questioning too. Now it will not be doing anything for the team right now. Look at that zone.
Yeah, zone again. There is another Tsunami Slam, and there is the Mystic Gorge dealing a lot of damage. There will be as well the Rough Waves, but it's not going to be nearly enough because the side of Team Kaki, they are dealing a ton of damage. Two member instantly got down because of the Curse of Blood connecting at the right point, and that is the damage potential that you can leash out of it.
1.6k goal lead into the hands of Insidious here. Very decisive on the way they are rotating, very decisive on the way they send the Cloud into the bot lane side so that he'll be able to get out the farms that he's required here. DHS already onto his hands, which is definitely a good sign. It's only the 5 minutes of the game and they're so it's onto the goal. Sky Piercer first build for Ryujin. I don't know, maybe he might be going for a bit of a crit build also, which is absolutely necessary for him right now. But then again, it's very hard for a clean to lose into the early game. You usually want to play the early game very much better, but he isn't able to do so. But mid lane though, there might be a bit of an hot and seat poking on. But nothing much though, Kalida haven't been able to ambush anyone in this game.
Absolutely, but then again, Ryujin without the Purified has been a constant problem, right, Debbie? And that too, before the turtle fight, it is not nearly looking a very strong lane for the side of Team Kaki. And again, you can see the constant pressure is what is keeping them away. And I think if this keeps on going, then the goal lane will easily get farmed up from the side of Insidious, and while Kaki will suffer from the lack of farming.
That's what we are actually worried about for Kaki here. They might want to have a bit of a good play into the early phases of the game, take the first turtle, so that eventually, maybe, Along Naga will eventually have that position to try to get the farms in and maybe focus onto that goal lane side so that Rosen can at least have a step onto the Sky Creator or not die. But then this is very weird for a marksman who doesn't have a purifier against the Kalea, so they will not be able to respond to anything because they don't have the fundamentals to go in and out. But look at that, what is he doing?
Oh no, he walked at the wrong side. There is again another fight with the flicker and the rough feast, but it's not going to deal the damage because the flicker at the right time will save Paranoid. And two members got instantly punished. The mid duo is down, while the side of Team Insidious has secured the turtle, and now they find another turret on the mid lane. And this is going to cost them a lot because it will expose the jungle to the side of Team Insidious.
On random and normal scenarios, when I've thought that maybe the Kadita will have a better time against the Gore, but these cannot really happen because they don't have the priority onto the map, especially onto the bushes where the Kadita really shines so much on. He cannot go for the ambushes, and without the damage, he's completely useless. Look at that.
Another deadly combo from the mid trio. Did you look at that, Debbie? Like, so beautifully performed. Every skill connecting at the right time, whether it be the Tsunami Slam, whether it's the Violet Requiem or the Mystic Gush, everything on point. And it's looking very one-sided as of now because the answers were coming from the side of Team Kaki a while back, but now they're not.
They're not. Man, I think this is definitely gonna be a very smooth sailing game from Insidious here. They have a better scaling heroes for the late game. The Clot is there. Kenny can just go for the pick off and they will be able to burst it down. The carry, the Kalea and the God combination is definitely gonna be so deadly, even when there's only 2 items into the hands of the God. And they have been doing so good with the rotation going together here and there, not letting the team of Kaki to get anywhere near the goal laner as well. And whoever walks into the front side, they just go and blitz them down, and this means that they have a lot of goal into their hands. Look at the stun though. They're going in.
Oh, whoa! Amazing Throne of the Ruins coming in from Sandford, and there is Jump along with the Mystic Gush. They cannot escape even if they want to. Without the Purify, it's not gonna be possible. And another 2 member going down for the side of Team Kaki. Things are not working in the way they want. And now the target is going to be the mid lane. There is a Tsunami Slam. The Sun connects. Lapu Lapu on the verge of being taken down. Flickers out. Survives for now. But then again, the rough wave forced out of from Miego, but he survives as well. But the mid lane doesn't look like it's going to survive for very long.
Thankfully, it's a Flying Clouds map that they're playing from, but they, I don't know, at this point, Kaki, they're so behind. 12 points score right now, and this will definitely hurt them. The Lord might eventually give them a bit of a building more. Again, it's just accumulating a lot of gold into their hands. And the Trinity might already have been secured by Panzinko here, the way he's been able to farm to the top lane, the mid lane, as well as the bottom lane. He's getting everything at this point. No space whatsoever for Rosin. He doesn't even have the damage. I don't know how they'll be able to handle this.
They cannot, because the side of Team Insidious, they're manhandling them at this point. You can see they want them, they pick them up, and they just take them down. And with the Lord coming down here and not having their re-exp laner, it's going to be a problem. But the good thing is that the death timers are still low, so there's a possibility of a defense here.
Low death timers means that it's still early into the game, but still, there's a lot of scaling potential already coming through from the hands of the Clot. Okay, look at the dive.
Oh, now there's another amazing Throne of the Ruins connecting, and a Long Naga will fall down. The rough wave's dealing a little bit of damage, but there comes a blazing duet along with another jump from the Guinevere. Humble God picks up a double, and there is gonna be another member as a casualty. 3 down from the team fight. Now 2 survives to defend this, but can they? Because the base is the target, another jump connects, and the damage is just dealing too much. Mego needs to go back in. While they cannot defend the game, Team Insidious picks up a victory over Team Kaki.
I would say that was a completely smooth sailing game, no mistakes, nothing. The early game were great, the late game so much better. They have done so well for the team fights that they had for themselves. Insidious, the way they rotate the synergies were coming through, the draft immaculable. But then again, yeah, I do have a complaint about the magic overladen draft that they had. But still, when you are able to perform this way, the way that Sanford has been, I think I'm not gonna have any complaint about this at all. Sanford.
Yeah.
He's not fraud.
I think He's not frauding. He's not frauding anyone, guys. I think he was the most legit when it comes down to the engaged potential. And also, we cannot
Yep.
forget why Kenny, right? So on
Mhm.
point, and the way the mid trio was able to sync and layer their skill
Yeah.
was like beauty to watch. I think it was so perfectly planned. And we were talking about the god even before the draft was start. They started picking the heroes, and now people understand why the god is so good, right? This combination, even without the Kalea, I think the god
Yeah.
is a very strong hero, and it shows because the true damage plus the slowdown plus the stun, the combination is just too good to let it go.
Exactly. And this is how they are able to win onto the mid side. And I usually say this, Lord, when you have a Kalea, if you combine it and pair it together with any kind of mid laner, you are supposed to have a winning mid side. And with a good clearance like the Kalea and the Gorb playing together against a hero like the Kadita and the Carmilla, of course they'll be able to have a good rotation everywhere across the map. And they use that to their full advantage, rotating everywhere they could. The timings, the way that they go for the engages were all perfect. No response or even a compensation was coming through from Kaki. Insidious were taking anything and everything from their house, and there's no way that they could even stop them. They just took it, I guess.
Yeah. I think with the Kalea combination, you mentioned it right. That what the heck? Oh nah. I think with the Kalea combination, it looks wholesome. It looks wholesome. At least I have somebody beside me, while Debbie doesn't. So I would appreciate if Debbie also gets a partner here. So again, back to what I was saying. I think with the Kalea combination, you can actually suffocate your opponents, right, in a very good manner. And with the Guinevere, you have that range to actually follow up with the Kalea's jump. So in a way, I think it works really good. And we saw a live example of that. The matchup was just not fair against the Carmilla. I think the Kalea is just performs better. Because with the Kalea, you can just dive in wherever you want. But with the Carmilla, you have to walk in to give the set. And that moment of vulnerability can easily be picked off by your opponents.
Wait, I'm so sorry. The thing is, it's just when.
It's
Wait.
okay, Debbie. It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Ladies and gentlemen, while this game is over, we'll wait for the next matches to come rolling out. So for that, we just wait for a little bit longer. Do stay tuned while we take a short break. The next matches awaits you. See you soon.
All right, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting over it. The picture that is. Hey, welcome back again. Sunu, how's your
Yeah.
day with your waifu by your side?
It's very wholesome. Ever since I found her, my life has been all pink, and there has been no fight, only love in the air that you can see in the screen, guys. That is my life right now. It's all flowery, and I'm being held at guns point to. Oh, sorry, I cannot say that. Might get shot. So yeah, I'm just enjoying my time. You can see with my lovely waifu. But again, ladies and gentlemen, like Debbie said, welcome back to TXG Open Moba Championship, the pilot edition. This is going to be the round of 32, the best of ones. We are organized by Nagaland Esports Society, and the event partner will be TXG Expo Nagaland. But the last game was really fascinating, Debbie. We saw some really good game coming in from the teams. But now that we are back at it again for the next game, it's going to be Azalea Bloom versus I know this Toe team because there's a friend of mine. It was Tome of Evil. Yeah, Tome of Evil.
Yeah.
You see Unseen, right? I think that is my
Mhm.
friend playing out there. So interesting to see.
Rahul the Destroyer have been creating a lot of popularity for himself for a while now. But okay, I will say that Claude is also there. So
I am the
Azalea
daughter of
Bloom and
Northern
Tomb of
Vale.
Evil, this
I
is definitely
swear
going
to
to be a
protect it
very
till my last breath.
strict kind of draft that we are going to witness in comparison to others. So the bands, Phobia's ban, Guinevere ban, Freya, Justin
Your
Kadita is a
team
target
is
ban,
picking
and the Harriet as well. So, what is open? What is open? Claude. I think Claude first pick can be a very, very great choice here for Azalea.
Different perspectives.
But Marcel, what about it,
Your
right?
team is picking.
I was about to
Two,
mention the Marcel
one.
because the Marcel is a very strong first pick. We have seen certain regions really liking it as a first pick. I think, and it's pretty apt going for this hero because it actually reveals quite less. It might mean that you want to play for those long range heroes a little bit more. But ooh, I love the response. The Valentina looks really good here as well.
A
The
very great
immortal
reply
one
and
chose
fast on
me to
top of that.
vanquish the
That's gonna be the
shadows
seal.
that plague this
Your
world.
favorite?
Harley's still open. If they find
am the
okay, there we
legend
go.
of
Harley for
Zlatan.
Azure. I still will stick with the Claude. Harley Claude, or you know what, Sinu? Harley Gord.
The
What?
god is good as well, but I think they need a little bit more engaged. I think the Marcel is good, but is not apt for the engage. They can just pick up something for the EXP for now, because why I'm saying that is not because I want them to rush early on, but I want them to just get maybe the Alice, because it can be very good with the Marcel combination, because they can easily deal the damage and also hold the front line. So that could be a good hero. But apart from that, like you mentioned, the Claude is a very good pick here as well. So
Your team is picking.
not bad. The Claude works well.
I feel like this should be a pick onto the marksman here because. Oh wait, if they don't pick the carry, it's gonna be banned away. If they don't pick the Moskov as well, okay, never mind. I think it will come down to the choices that they want here. Now I feel that Elise should be better here for Tomb of Evil if they play that Elise. If they don't want to give it into the hands of Azalea Bloom, which is looking very good for them. So they're still gonna have to say, okay,
Your
they
team
prime
is
to the
banned.
Moskov first, huh? Maybe they don't play the Obsidian, that has to be it.
Carry maybe better than the Moscow, no? Because I think
Yeah.
against the Claude, I think I would rather prefer a carry because you can have a little bit more scaling. The Moscow is a bit more late game. Even the carry is, but I think. But which one would you prefer, though, Debbie? Like if you were trying to draft for your team, like either the Moscow or the carry.
I would take Obsidia. But hey, Moskov for carry, for that, I think they opted to go for the Moskov here just because of the Harley, right? Because you do have to self-build with the Spear of Misery, you can actually survive. And you can actually pull up a flicker or a period ban. Oh, this is a target ban, right? Azalea Bloom. They want to remove all the Yuzong. If I am well aware, Max used to play the Yuzong, right? Or
I think it's
he changed-
Cloud, right?
a cloud. Okay, it has to be done. Maybe I have.
Mhm.
I know I'm an XP laner Max who was so good onto the Yuzong, so maybe I got confused.
I think this is another Max. He used to be in Eternity Sports, I guess. This is a different Max. I think the names are similar, but the gameplay is different. The roles are different.
Your team
If we
is
are correct,
banned.
then we'll see how it happens after the draft is over. Now, this is why I mentioned, Debbie, why they should have gone for the EXP pick first here, because if they had the engage first, then the options would not have been limited. Now the options will be quite dropped down. For both the teams, it is quite the same. They will have very limited option like the Arlet, like the Lapu Lapu perhaps, and maybe the Alice if it's left open, and then that could also be a very good hero. But apart
Crowned
from
by
that, the
heaven's
engage
mandate,
potentials
Your
are
team
my
is
legacy
banned.
shall
decreasing time by
endure.
time, and I'm quite surprised to not see Glue in the banning section.
Yeah, maybe both of them don't like the glue, but the fact that still, I don't think Tomb of Evil will be doing fair well with the glue here because the movement speed coming through from AGB is so much already. The glue will not be that much of a handy hero here, but they can still ban it though for Azalea if they want a particular hero for their side. With the ban onto the Uranus, which I'm quite surprised to see because there's a lack of setup right from the side of Tomb of Evil. It hasn't come yet, so if they remove a setup hero, it will be actually very good. Now that you said it,
My tail's been itching for a real
Your
fight.
team is
narrow it
picking.
down. At least it's still there if they want.
That's what I'm betting at. The Alice, maybe if they want to go for something, only the Alice makes sense out here because they already have the Marcel, so the front line is not enough, right? You do understand that they need something to peel a little bit more with, because there's going to be the Suyo jumping and there's going to be the Moscow jumping in as well. I think the Kaja might be a very good hero out here to just go toe to toe against this kind of composition, but it does get countered with the Marcel. So it's like 50-50. If you want to stop the Moscow, not the Moscow, but the Harley and the Claude, you can definitely go for the suppress skill, but not the suppress I was talking about. But hey, baby steps, right? Yeah, let's go with
Okay.
that.
So now it's actually gonna be okay. That's the Harley and the Gore combination I was talking about. Just pick it, man. Just go for it. It's so good here. And that's the glue, which I would have thought that
magic will
Evil
redefine
wouldn't pick
reality.
Your
for it,
team
but
is
yeah,
picking.
AZB, they were the one who actually denies it and take it for themselves. It's gonna be an XP glue. So oh man, this is kind of. I still think Elise is good here against the glue in XP. Or maybe we're just too much of an Elise glazer at this
Alice, no. Alice is definitely good. Oh, even the Sora was actually open. So yeah, the Sora could be picked here, but I'm not too of a fan of the Sora against the Glue matchup. I
Yeah.
think the Sora does suffer a little bit more. You cannot deal the death blow to the Glue, of course. But I might be doomed if I did not see the Eno Pino and did not think of Nino to play the EXP lane. I'm so sorry, guys. Cloud is actually the ex-member from Operation Zero. He used to be the leader of Operation Zero. And I remember him from a tournament in particular. So he's a very good player as well. So hoping to see that they do well. But even the Terisla is pretty good in this current meta, right? With the new changes, not having any mana, you can spam your skills. Looks good.
You know, I don't have anything against Terisla. In fact, I am such a Terisla glazer. But not in this scenario, man. Come on. There's a lot of movement speed and
You cannot catch them.
the hat. How am I supposed to catch them with this? I don't know. I still think the Alice should be a better choice here. They kind of also needed a bit of a magic damage, right? They already have a good amount of physical too. Maybe they want to focus a bit more onto the guard, which I don't think will be that much of a easy target because he is always going to be onto the backline, which is what they wanted to play for. But the execution, it matters a lot, so let's see though.
Yeah, welcome to the Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, because we are in for the game number 5, I guess. This is game number 5, of course. There's Tome of Evil onto the blue side and team Azalea. Actually, it is quite reverse. I think it is Azalea Bloom on the blue side, and team Toe of Evil onto the red side. So we'll see how do they play this game, because it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Once again, we'll see how the early game spans out. But maybe once again, I think every game I say the same thing. You might be tired at this point by listening to me. The mid duo, the pressure that can be created from there only.
I love this because, you know, you usually want to focus on the mid duo, but This time around, Ezo, man, he got a steal onto the red buff, which is completely nasty, like the heroes is playing. Actually, with the gourd, usually you have a good clearance. And I think this is definitely gonna be better for the side of Azalea Bloom, which means that the rotation will be so much easier for their side. But without the red buff here, the rotation might eventually be cut off. Tomb of Evil will have to be forced to respond to something.
Absolutely, I think they will be forced to respond, but how would they like to respond? Because again, both the teams, they have very limited front line without the EXP being present in the fight, and right now it's not looking like the EXP will be there, but then again, that is the annoyance from the god that you will be getting. But then again, it's quite surprising to see that Rahul is actually a level ahead compared to Cloud, which is not something that we will be expecting, but now he's walking to the wrong side of the map unseen. I think he will not be seeing that coming, but then again, he's trying to sustain it all. The first blood by Izo picked up. The damage is coming through, but not nearly enough to take them down, so it's gonna be a trade for nothing. But then again, Pino is trying to go in, but he does not have that level 4 yet. Should be getting it anytime soon and can just mount on them, but before the damage is a lot. The flicker from the not the flicker, but the dash from the T-Star will be enough to take it down. But an amazing hook coming in from Rin, and that will be it for Pino, and he will get taken down. But despite that, team Azalea will be able to pick up a kill. Pick up the turtle, my bad. But then again, you can see the damage coming through. Flickers popped out, surviving for now. The team's going back to this side of the map.
Yeah, usually into the early phases of the game, their kills really matter, but then again, when you take out the turtle, it already is becoming an equalizer here, and it will be more in favor for the side of Azalea Bloom here, because they are going to have a better rotation up on top if they have a good conversion of what they just lost. With the presence of the Marshal, I feel like Rin will not be able to do something that the will usually do, but what they again unseen. This is the reason why I did not really like the Terizla pick against the Harley or even the Claude, man. He won't be able to catch anyone and sustain. That's the weak side of the
Absolutely. I think the right choice of hero is very important going in a drop like this, going in a game like this. But then again, Marcel is trying his best to connect his passive, connect his stuns, and he's able to do so, but the conversion is not yet coming through from Cloud, because he knows that if he goes too close, then there's a possibility that he can get punished. But then again, two members along with the golden out, you can see the Mystic Wash dealing a lot of damage. There is no escape from there for sure. And there goes 1 kill, 2 kill, double for Izo, looking for the triple, but it's going to be Cloud picking it up. And now, why so mean? Getting stuck under the turret, uses the SOD, but it's not gonna be doing much because he's gonna get taken down. 3 members down instantly, but unseen, still trying to push the turret. I think that's what he can do at this moment, because there is no helping his team for now.
He will be a bit too late to the party as well, and it really does be a wasted time, but I think he overstayed his welcome here. He might be still able to go for the mount, but can he go for a 2v1 situation here? He can still sustain. It's gonna be a little bit tough for him to go away from here. But again, Covariant taken down out of nowhere into the mid side already. This is too fast of the game.
Absolutely, but the hook, it connects and it brings back Izo. He thought he was safe, but you're not. When Rin is using his hook, the iron hook connects, but then again another stun. And Rahul will be taking the kill onto his Caesar, sir. And that's gonna be a lot of problem. Unseen at a very good positioning. Can he get the setup that he's looking for? He does have the flicker too, but still waiting for the right choice, right time, and the right choice of opponents. But then again, the recall here. But meanwhile, the top tower, Debbie, will get taken down.
This is gonna be a fast rotation up on top that made it so much easier for the side of Azalea to take that turret down. So it's already high time that the Moscow farms into the bottom lane side, because he's just 2k gold onto his hands. Meanwhile, there's 3.5 already onto the hands of the Cloud, which means that he is definitely gonna be getting the TP faster than usual. Okay, Turtle, don't look at that.
Another fight, the penalty zone is there. There goes gonna be Big Gosh. The golden hour will stop them from the time sway. The SOD does not go through the round. Izo will pick up the turtle now. The fight is not over. Unseen will get taken down. They're looking for more. Pino is trying to go for the mounting, but he cannot find the members that he's looking for. The skills are not connecting on the flicker popped out from Clovarian. The hook does not connect, and they're trying to back out, but there is the final mount, and it will bring back Rin. He gets taken down. They're looking for a fit view more. The minions are there and they need to clear it down, but can they? Because there's 5 members merely present out there and they're going in for another fight. The Blazing Duet will take on Why So Mean, and Sir will not be able to survive because the damage from the hat trick is just too much. Sorry, the deadly magic, not the hat trick.
Deadly hat trick.
Yep.
Both, I would say it's both. With the 5k goal lead that they accumulated for themselves, Azalea Bloom, they are still ready to try to go and invest more with the turtle and get a good goal lead that they want. And so they will be connecting. I don't think it's a good idea to take it because no turrets around the vicinity means that you really aren't free for the farm. Pino onto the top side trying to do something, making a play. He doesn't have the yet, but
Debbie, I don't even have to say anything. You just know at this point what's gonna be waiting for him. I feel bad.
He was aware. The worst fact was that he knows that he's gonna be getting haunted. Who would have thought?
I think at this point he has nobody to blame except for himself. So there we go.
God. There we go. I would really like it if they instead send him onto the bottom lane side instead of letting him tower a hug here. Maybe Unseen can get up to the top lane side and then Moskov can just run to the bot lane. Now it's a little bit late now because here Azalea Bloom, they wanted this bottom lane. Again, they are coming in 4 men looking very strong.
They're looking strong and they're trying to find an opening to just dive in. Unseen will be there, but there is another stun connecting. Pino will go in. He's trying to find a member to just jump on, the mount on. But then again, Unseen does not know what is waiting for him. The golden hour will connect onto his one member. The Mystic Gush is dealing a lot of damage, but Unseen will still be able to survive it all. There is a penalty zone, but the survivability is not there. The damage will just exceed another golden hour coming through. But this time, will it be enough though? And they will find Rin. That's the second kill on the board. Clovarion is really low. And the deadly magic will take him down eventually. A slow burn death for him. Sir is trying to find his buff, but then again, Pino is trying to zone him out as well. Taking a few turret shots, but he will be able to just immune it for the time being. Wiseomine finds a turret finally in the top lane. Takes the advantage, pushes it.
Yeah, that's definitely a good trade out. Finally, something up to the bank for the side of Team Tomb of Evil here, but this is gonna be another turtle. They're gonna be taking a Thunderbelt already built away and the fighting time on top of that. Usually you go for the fighting time when you are very ahead on a Marcel. And this just means that they are very ahead onto the goal and whatever they are doing with the goal that they have so far. A bit of a change up into the build for the Harley here as well, as though not going for the Mythic Trinity that you usually are used to seeing onto the Harley. He's going for the basic damage dealing potential. I think it still works, it's still good. You can go for utility as well and it's still gonna be working just fine for the Harley. But look at that, Unseen again.
Debbie, you got it. I don't have to say anything. I think you already mentioned this quite back, but then again, another golden hour this time, stunning 2 members. The Mystic Wash is still not used, and there goes the damage, and they cannot survive. And that's gonna be 3 members down the board in the favor of Team Azalea Bloom. And now they're just waiting for the inevitable, just to push. Moscow once again will not see the light of the day because he gets taken down. So he's trying to fight out, trying to just survive. But then again, the glue is trying to mounting on. He will go, but it's just too deep. It's getting under the crystal. And he will get taken down. A bit too deep for him. But then again, the space has been brought. They will be finding another turret. So it's still good for the side of Team Azalea as of now.
A flash of Oasis onto the hands of the Marcel Rahul the Destroyer could have been so with the seal, with the flash, with everything related to shield. If you belong to the Marcel, it's gonna be completely an extra annoying, and I think he can actually go put down their pots given the fact that they already have a lot of goalie into their hands. 20 to 4 easy kill. The Lord will be coming up. They can find an angle if they have a good kickoff. But still, they have to be a little bit disciplined as well here too, so not doing nothing out of control. Look at that gosh.
But then again, there is another bloody hunt connecting, but it's not going to be enough. Izo gets taken down. There is the golden hour stolen away, but will it be enough to take them down? But there comes the original golden hour. Unseen is locked in. There comes the blazing duet from Mac, dealing a lot of damage, but not enough to take anybody down. They're still fighting. They're still trying to chase the members, and Izo will scout and find the triple kill that was due for him. And 2 members remaining to defend. There goes another stun. The minions will be enough to take them the mid turret and they find what they're looking for. And now they know the Lord is what they need next. So they're just backing away.
Azalea Bloom, I think Ezra really does know that he does not really have to be dependent on the deadly magic because he is on a different kind of build onto that Harley. He can go for the basic attacks or even the magic tricks and the Booker tricks, and then he's definitely gonna be ready to burst anyone down. The Malefic gun already. Pino, look at this Patrick, man. What this effect onto the Hellcore Tome is so disgustingly nice. Hey, onto the top 9 seconds soon again, unable to sustain anything or anything at this point.
Yeah, I think Unseen is not really having the great game that he's looking for, but the amount of lead the side of team Azalea has gotten, you can see 13k, Debbie. 13k is not easy to come back out of.
I'm quite worried here, man, for Tome of Evil. They had the capability to go for the clearance, but it's only the Moscow.
I don't have anything to say, Debbie. You can continue.
The draft, man. This is why I'm skeptical about the Charisma, man. But hey, that's another fight, though.
There's another fight with the golden hour. You can see 2 at work, but then it's not gonna save Rain. He gets taken down. And now the SOD completely misses out. Team Azalea, they know they can find an end with the base is pretty low. Double kill for Izo. And the game will still end because there's no way saving that with the amount of lead team Azalea had. It was just waiting for Tome of Evil to concede the defeat and a victory shouting for the side of Team Azalea.
Yeah, amazingly well done, Team Azalea Blue. Finally, for the first time that we have seen the glue appearing, it's definitely doing so much better. I don't know, Tome of Evil, man, they could have done so good into the early phases of the game because they did have a Valentina and a Franca, not the best of the combination, but they could have followed up with Zara onto the trio. But again, Rahul the Destroyer onto the Marshall was so annoyingly available all across the map, which means that the Vision is definitely going to be out there. He's always getting the stun upon a stun, and then they are so fast onto the rotation because Harley have a movement speed. Gort is surprisingly a fast mage player, mage hero, and then of course the Marshall as well, and the rotations were clean. They were all in together on whatever they are doing. They couldn't touch for the side of Tome of Evil. They couldn't dive into the backlines. They only had a dive with Teresa, who hasn't been able to stay alive onto those team fights because even when he was onto those front lines, he has been taking a lot of damage and he couldn't sustain all of those because of the lack of gold and items.
Absolutely. I think there was a lot of things that did not work in the way Team Tome of Evil were looking. They were trying to play for the late game with the early game being centered around the Suyo, but the Suyo never got the power spike. He never got the kills that he was looking for. And even with the Valentina, she was able to steal the golden hour, but it was not working in the favor because they did not have long projectile skills, and even if they had, they could not go in. If somebody goes in, that means that they are trying to sacrifice themselves rather than just setting up the fight. And the Terizla was an idea to utilize in this game, but we saw how miserably it failed because of the true damage that the god can deal. And I think the god has been the new meta, and people need to start respecting that, banning it off if you're not picking it down. And underestimating it was a really bad thing. And Debbie's time to laugh has just started in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
I'm not gonna laugh anymore. I have it under control. I'm kidding. Who am I kidding? It looks so funny, but still. Oh man, they just butcher my. I hate it when the draft doesn't really end well with the way we were trying to see where they are coming from. Like, we do understand that the Teresa pick was to try to dive under the gourd, but they couldn't really have done that because the rotation was so much faster. And if you know Teresa is gonna be weak into those kind, onto the team fight as well, he wasn't able to catch anyone at that point of a time as well. Harley, so sleek. He's so fast, and then there's a lot of ways for him to survive most of the time. And I think losing out onto the objective into the early phases of the game when you have a Valentina is definitely not the case scenario. And Gort, with the successful picks and successful wins that we have seen so far, I think this is going to be the next one that we are going to have to look for.
Absolutely. For now, this game will be in the name of Team Azalea Bloom, but for the next one, we need to see which team will head on to the round of 16. For now, this will be it for this game, ladies and gentlemen. After a short break, we will be back for the next one. So do stay tuned while we take the break.
Hi guys, we are back again. Like I said, you don't have to be tired of us. This is gonna be the last one for today, round of 32, the last best of one series that we have. Welcome again to TXD Open Mobile Championship. Pilot Edition, I did not see that. But here again, I'll be with Shinryu and his waifu. There's 3 people on the desk. Shinryu, your
I
background is
thought
so pink.
I thought you were done with it, Debbie. I thought you were used to it, but well, what can we do? You're not used to it yet. Yes, guys, she's right. I'm back with my waifu, and of course Debbie. Debbie is Debbie's doing three timing. What is it? Third wheeling out here.
Yeah.
She's just trying to. Yeah, she's just she's here against her wishes. So what can we do? But hey, my wifey cannot cast, so Debbie has to do the honor for now. She is deaf and dumb, so she's just here for the moral support that you can see. She's just morally supporting me to stand straight because I'm leaning on her. Hey, enough with the jokes, but we are back with again another game with the TXG Expo TXP Open Mobile Championship. This is going to be this is going to be the last game, like Debbie mentioned. You guys, if you're tired with us, if you're tired with our silly jokes, then this will be the last time that you'll be hearing us. Unfortunately,
no.
fortunately, whatever you say it, but they will be sad knowing that you guys are tired of us.
Let's see though, who's not gonna be sad, man, the winner of this game. So let's see the last game, best of one today. It's Olympus and versus SGY, which is Olympus. But I think both of them has been in this.
Yeah,
tournament.
Olympus and
The
Signify.
greatest
Yeah.
night show
Olympus and
Moba
Signify.
is picking.
You can tell, right, with the bands. I really love this kind of drafting, man. Look at that, Kalea,
Yep.
Phobia's Eve band, Freya, and then Harriet's band is always a must for some reason, and a Marshall. So they did not want the Zushin, they want the Harley instead, which I would really take because you can handle the Zushin actually with the Harley. So it's gonna be for SGY. What do they want here?
Butterfly is born by thy wish.
I think Zushin, yeah, of
Guided
course. I think
by
letting the
mountain's
Zushin go
light.
against a Harley as well, not the best call not the best call per se. But if you think that if you do not want the draft to be heavily favored for Team Olympus, then they can also go for a little bit of more crowd control, like the Kaja perhaps, because it was left open. But they are instead going for the glue, and with the glue, it is pretty good, right? You can actually immune the ultimate, that is the deadly magic from the
I didn't cure
Harley, so
I
it can work
harness it.
well. But I do not understand what business does Valentina has in this game, but okay, happy to see her.
Rises when I give the word.
Okay, now it makes sense with the combination. With only the Valentine, I was like, not really sure. But now with the Khalid, it looks like they really want to have a good rotation into the mid lane. The clearance is not going to be the best, but then, given the fact that still the Jushin really love to have a good winning mid side, they don't want to try to give it away. And Ankido,
Valor and royalty in a dead
but let's see
body.
though, that's gonna be the lone one that they're gonna be going for, the safer choice. But against the Valentina, now comes the big resources that they want here. This should be a ban on the marksman
I've been
side.
waiting for
Carry
too
and
long.
Lord could be banned here. Olympus would be so good. It would be so good if they can get their hands on the Claude.
True. I think the last ban from the side of Team Signify could also be the Sora, because that can also be a hero that they might want to prioritize. See, that they're banning the Alice, so it could be a Sora very well. So I think that is what they're aiming for here. If Team Signify can read it pretty well, they might want to ban it out. If they want to ban the Claude, that is also good. I think at least they're getting a good hero. Either be it the Claude or the Sora, but the next pick will be from Team Signify Esports. How about they ban the Sword and pick up the Claude? What do you think?
Come on,
Yeah, that
Dexter.
also can
It's
be
our
something.
showtime.
Oh, they don't want
Is
to
banning.
use the Claude. It's so much better for the side of Olympus to pick up the Claude rather than for Signify here. It would have been better if they had it for themselves, but they banned it away. So I do not understand they banned away the Elise. They could use the Elise as a bit of a vendetta against the glue also. But maybe, like I said, they don't want to handle it. That could have been a better choice. But I feel like they should take away another hero that maybe. Oh, glue is a big flex, right? So,
Yeah.
what can they remove here, Joe?
I think they can remove another EXP or maybe a roam. They can take away the Kaja perhaps, because that could be a problem. Oh, they're going for the Uranus ban. The Uranus. What does it ring, Debbie? Like, what bells does it ring for us? Why do we ban the Uranus Arlet?
Arlet. Or maybe they might want to focus a bit onto the gold lane side. They don't have the Shredder anymore, right? No Cloud, no Carry, no Harris on top of that too. The only available
Okay.
option is the Moskov and the Granger. And those are the heroes that cannot really pass through the Uranus as well. Or even the Yi Shinshin, but then Yi Shinshin is not, don't use
Nah.
don't use the Yi Shinshin gold lane, man. Not anymore, it's not good.
Not really. I wouldn't prefer the Ascension Golden anymore because I think the meta is down now. We are kind of done away with it. I think the Bruno could be a very good safer option, or maybe the Beatrix if you want to go. Oh, Hilda actually. The Hilda, huh? Good front line, good rotation. Good rotation, matlab. At least you have the vision control, but I don't think so. There's much option. I was expecting the Sora at least, but I don't know why the Terrorist Lab though. Against the glue, it is good. Yeah, it is good. But are we betting against? Tell me.
If you compare it to the previous game, Teresa, and here, it's good for money guilty here.
But Debbie, there is a Zushin out there.
No, it doesn't matter because usually when you talk about the Rizla, it's more of him playing for the objective, right? And Leomore kind of struggles against the Terizla. So I think they want to focus a bit onto the team fights. I mean, the objective fights rather than for the pick off, which said a lot about the pick they already have. They wanna go for those the skill pressure from the Harley, and then go for those objective fights. But oh no, and again.
I don't like the Clint here.
It should be a winning lane though, right?
Winning lane, but not a winning matchup in overall draft.
That's why.
Vulnerable, pretty vulnerable. But I think they have very good peel though. They have very good peel on the front line. So it might be difficult for them to reach the back line. That could be a way. But then the Clint will not have enough range if he is setting to behind. I think execution. Again, execution based, right?
Glenn is a hero that depends so much on that early game. Like it could have been it's snowballish. It's like the hero you wanna play when you have a hero like the Harley on your team, right? Who can have a high kill pressure onto the goal side, or even the Suyo as well. Now they have a Leomore, so the rotation might eventually have to shift around the gold lane side. Because I also feel that the Moskov is easy pick off in comparison to heroes like the Claude. So that also have to be one of the reasons why they ban away the Claude, so that they wanna have a good lane against the Moskov as well. So like you said, execution, it's gonna be dependent on where Legal rotates around, or even for soft bot. This showdown should always be on the gold lane too.
Yes, a lot of questions, but the answers yet not known. The Land of Dawn calls, but who will ring the victory of Bell? We'll see, because this game has begun, ladies and gentlemen. We have Team Olympus onto the blue side and Team Signify onto the red side, waiting for another point and waiting for another wave for the next round. The other teams, they have made their way. The last teams await, so which one is going to be, we'll see. Back to the rotation we were talking about. Saltpot getting away a lot of his HP chip down.
Looking at the rotation so far, I think Legal wants to have a bit of a top lane pressure brother. Flicker already burned away by Super Zesco onto the mid lane side here, so that's already a big resources being burned. It should be up by the time the turtle is up, but then again, the pressure that he wants to create will definitely gonna be getting toned down just a little bit. Nice rotation though. This is something you wanna do when you have premium rotation, right? And they are gonna have to steal away this creep, and I'm pretty sure Sei is also aware, so he's gonna have to do the same thing, mirroring out those rotations.
Absolutely. I think you have to be very smart out here with rotation, because if you just let too many things being taken away, that could lead you to a lot of problem. As of now, I think the junglers, they are pretty much set for that level 4 before the turtle, so it's not going to be changing much dynamics in the jungle department. But like you mentioned, the gold lane needs a lot of help. The Clint, like you also know, is a very strong in the early game hero, being that the Moscow does suffer, but then again the mid lane, the damage onto us. Tyler is just too much, forced to flicker out, almost getting taken down. So very risky for him to be left alone as well.
Big freeze coming in into the mid side already. A flicker baited again from Tyler. I think this is definitely going to be a good maneuver, though. Coming to verify.
Oh, another flicker baited out. Looking tough though.
Not good. Good. 2 or 3 flickers have already been wasted upon here, but then again, it's there for survivability. So now it should be better for Olympus here if they want to have a quick contest onto this turtle. I don't know how they rotate it, but it's so good that now Super Zesco might eventually be able to get down the level 4, but it's gonna be delayed just a little bit. Vanicute, Legal, what is he doing though? It doesn't look like they were trying to contest, and you don't really want to go contest the turtle when you see at the Rizla, and Legal is doing exactly that, but without compensation, I'm not sure.
Oh, another fight here on the mid lane. There's a lot of damage, and Manicute will fall instantaneously. It's a 2-for-1 trade, still in the favor of Team Olympus, and it's looking like they're trying to find a little bit of retribution out of the team fight, but the range not being enough. There's no more Phantom Steed, but a good stun connecting onto his Randan. He's getting stunned into 2 members. No flicker means no more party. And actually, he had the flicker, but didn't use it on time.
I think maybe it's so good from Super Zesco there, because he had the passive and he didn't use it because he was waiting for Randan to flicker, and Randan also knows that if he wastes the flicker he's gonna be dead anyway, so why waste it? So he did not have to. I think it was, a particular bad position that he was in. Maybe he wanted to try to have a good pick off onto Ankita when he was at bot lane, but man, you don't want to do that. The Khalid is a very fast moving hero.
True indeed, and that is causing a lot of problems, but now you can see the pressure being built up slowly but surely. They are trying to find ways to at least get something back on the map, especially the gold that they have lost for Olympus. But Team Signify, they know better that they should not be taking fights that they cannot win back. So they're trying to play it safe, but the pressure being built continuously, and this is actually slowly but surely suffocating them. They are trying to find that momentum, but it's pretty risky to actually just walk up and check the bushes, right, Debbie? So I think they should not be asserting much of the pressure themselves, but rather play for a little bit of the mid to late game's power spike where they get the items and the way back, maybe.
Yeah, I like the way that Zesco's been playing, man, because he's not going for the attacks. He knows that they don't have the manpower just yet, but bot lane?
Oh no, I think that's a kill secured, right? Randan cannot survive. There's a Phantom Steed, a lot of damage dealt. They came back to his death, but now the Terisla with amazing penalty zone locks in 2 members, and they will still try to fight it. More legal falls eventually in the hands of the director. They're still trying to fight it out. Duma trying to mount, but is he gonna get the kill secure? That's the question. The damage still being held out, and Moskov kills his own roamer. He did not care that Super Zesco falls, but he just wanted that kill. Still in the favor of Team Olympus as they get the turtle secured as well, while
amazing and perfect start the penalty zone. This is why this is when the draft is in favor of a Terisla, you really can see that, right? Because Legal, even though he had the Phantom Steed, he was getting chained. He was getting chained on the place by Manicute here. And then, when you can't move even on your horse, then what can you do with the team? And that's exactly what they are doing here. But a good penalty zone, man. He got 4 on that. It comes in handy so much. They lost out the rumor there, but they got a kill from the into the hands of their gold laner, so that's a good sign for lane again.
Yeah, again on the fight, a very good raging standstill blocking them down. I think Legal is still trying to survive. His HP not really working in favor. Gets taken down. Softboard already forced to go back. Moscow comes in, joins to the fight. The SOD takes down Randan, and they're trying to deal more. Manicute has to be the trade of 8, but even though it's still working in the favor of Team Olympus as they are able to get another turret in the top lane.
It's a fast move and a good and wise decision coming through into the hands of Olympus here. They are trying to find something across the map when they get a kill, and that is the top lane that they got. And now the Moscovians into the bot lane side, which have a turret standing, so he's definitely going to be getting the farm here. And let's battle first build onto the hands of Randan. Not really recommended, but mid lane again.
I don't have anything to say there. We continue.
So wild that. Even with just the...
It's too fast, Debbie. It's too fast for me to even say anything. I'm sorry. You see, the damage is... Exactly, right? It's like so fast that you cannot even react to it. That's how fast it is. But I think the damage potential from Say is just exceeding the amount that Team Signify can sustain.
And what's surprising enough is that he's only got the Genius 1 too, and Tyler actually full okay, fantastic though.
Director stuck in between three members trying to find a way out, but no way out, and this time Tyler will be able to return the favor, but not to the member that actually took him down. Still, the turtle fight is on. They're trying to find a way to secure it. Say's not really starting it off legal, slowly making his way towards it. Duma trying to hold the front, and Manicuti still trying to hit and regen back his HP. Super Zesco is just waiting for the right opportunity, and Say is trying to just go in for the little bit of poke damage, steals away the Litho Wanderer, but still the SOD will connect, and now they know they have an opening to take a fight, but they do not have the director in the team fight. They're still finding it more. The Phantom Steel being used up. They're still trying to go in. You can see Softball getting taken down, but now they're still continuing the fight. Tyler still trying to just find a little bit of way out, but Uncle Hito is still trying to just sustain through it all with the glue mounted on towards him. He does find himself surviving that fight, but still the fight not really working in the favor of Team Signify. They need to back off, while Olympus, they find themselves in the turtle.
Yeah, a very sneaky play coming through from Say, and were trying to find something across the wall when they were actually starting to look like they will be losing that, but still they won it out too. Nice mount from Doma, but hey, Tyler.
Not again, right? Not again. He gets taken down once again in the hands of Say. I think he must be sad. Super Zesco is still trying to regen his HP back, brought back. Duma trying to go in but get pushed back. Legal, you can see the damage. He's getting hit on. He's not really liking it, so backs off.
Oh man, this is so bad for Signify here. They are not really able to sustain out the damage coming through from Say, and look at that, he's actually opting to go for the full build onto the COD, even though he knows that he's not having the anti-heal just yet. But top lane, they might find some pressure out here, nothing too much just yet, but still that's going to be a good clear thing to already for Randan, who have the Sky Piercer without any stacks on the kill.
I think at this point, just sell it, buddy. Just sell it. No point keeping it.
Maybe buy the Berserkers instead, you know, so that he'll be able to at
better.
least.
Absolutely, I think I'm in for that. Oh, I know Debbie, you saw it as well, so just tell people what did we see.
We really have to talk about it. Anyways,
Okay, Debbie.
I feel
Oh, no. Oh no, you just skipped it. Okay, I see what you did there though. But let's just divert the topic. Uncle Hito, he just picked up the DHS, so that's gonna hurt even more to the front lines, and the director got his hands onto the lightning turchin, so the damage exponentially will increase. Randan, man, send the Sky Piercer at this point, please. Get the rose core.
Or better yet, don't pick this thing.
I do not want to go that far, but okay.
Okay. Let's not.
Okay.
Come on. And Bruno's
Not a
left,
clean draft
and
for
so
sure.
well.
Both the games not a clean draft, right? This time too,
Yeah,
again, they need to find themselves. Yeah, I mean, you can see where they're finding themselves, right? The damage, not really doing too much. Oh, wait! Super Zesco! He goes in, finds 3 members, but the damage not nearly enough to take anybody down. They're still trying to take the fight on, but the taunt is not there yet. I think they will try to bring them back, but then again, the penalty zone onto his Duma. He's trying to back off, but takes a bit of damage, survives still. Eagle with the Phantom Steed backs off. Nobody falls. A good thing for Team Signify, but Olympus, they found a way, and they also will go for the Lord here most probably.
I feel like there was a well-calculated team for there because they want to chase them away from their own side so that they will be able to have a good take onto the Lord without any contest, because it would be so bad if they lost this Lord as well. So it could be a bit of a comeback for the hands of Signify, but I don't think there's even a bit of a opening coming through from the hands of Signify here. They don't even have that scaling heroes that they want. It's a Jushin and a clean combination plus a Leomore. When you lose that first hurdle on this kind of combination, you're already a lost cause, so it's coming a bit too much for them to handle. And the fact that still Leomore here doesn't even have the damage, right? He have brute force and not even the hunter strike too, so he'll be able to sustain, yes, but then
look at the item on the Zushin.
This is what I was talking about. Even full build onto the COD, no, and then
that is not required. Yeah, I think I think a lot of learning lessons for the side of Team Signify. Of course, they still can focus on the build a little bit more, understanding the situational build that they need to go for. The turret defense will, reduce a lot HP, so it's possible for them to defend. A good thing, they will be able to hold on for a bit longer, but more stacks of minions are coming in. So I think Signify, their time is pretty limited, but what do they do with the limited time? 9k lead for Olympus.
Okay, and it's a Moscow that they are playing against and a Harley too. So it's
Yeah.
I feel like it could have been so much better when they had the opening for the Claude for themselves. Then they got the I don't know, man. This is kind of tough. You want to have a good late game hero, but then you pick up a clean and you get never mind. Probably.
Softbot flickers out, survives for a longer, but then again the stolen Phantom Steed not really doing the damage, still goes in. Legal, really low, gets the stun up, survives as well, but then the SOD connects. Does he want to go in is the question. The Crimson Beacon being used up to clear up the way, but then again Say's going in, uses the deadly magic, but it's not enough to take down Tyler yet. The tower falls, it's enough for Team Olympus to go back, but they will try to find a little bit more. The bot lane is what they're looking at, but can they push it? Yes, they can. Uncle Hito will take it down as well, and this actually makes the base much more vulnerable than it was for Team Signify. The Lord 54 seconds, but are they willing to wait, or will they take another fight here with the waves that are incoming?
They can actually wait out, but then if they want that top turret, then they can still verify it like a fly.
Oh, another dive, an amazing Phantom Steed, but it's not going to be enough because the penalty zone was again much more amazing, but still not really working in the favor. Debbie, what started off good for Olympus ended up in a bit disastrous for them.
It's still not that much of a bad loss, but then now finally something looking lively for the hands of Signify here. But just a 1 second to the Sky Pacer for Rondon. But a lot of damage still are still alive, but there was a good set actually. It could have been so much better. Full build onto the side of Ankito already. He got the Wind of Nature, which I presume is for Legal rather than for Rondon. I think it's not in a place where he will be very vulnerable, so I think he can actually go for a full damage, but it's okay. Say is there to provide the kill pressure, but something's looking lively finally for Signify, but they cannot start the Lord actually.
They cannot, they need to wait, they need to find Moscow on the map, otherwise it's going to be difficult. I think Uncle Hito has a very good positioning. He can go for the split push here and even say waiting for the ambush or maybe a flank possibly to find either Randan or Tyler here. That is the idea, right? They will bait the Lord, and while they have very bad positioning, they go in for the flank.
They kind of saw him, so it's gonna be a very big dilemma for a Signify, but hey, top lane.
Illegal is down, and that's pretty illegal to do because now he will be losing a turret as well, and it's looking like the fight has already begun on the other side. Randan will fall as well. They're trying to back off, but the team is not letting them. Super Seiko flexing on them with the flicker and the recall. Imagine that, say, with a double kill. And Debbie, you know what is inevitable waiting for them. The damage enough for them to just push the base. The Moscow is already farmed. They're trying to hit it up. They want to end the game. Before that, Tyler is pretty low. He falls. And the base as well. Signify their strategy fails. Olympus, they triumph and takes the victory.
Yep, that is gonna be them rising and moving their ways into the round of 16s. This is why best of ones are interesting. You build your best draft and then you run with it, because one more scenario like this and I'm gonna crash out. I'm joking, man. Let's not pick the Clint into this tournament, please. Clint is not really a hero that you wanna play.
Hashtag no Clint, please. Yeah.
Hashtag no Clint. Even Dushin hasn't been having that much of a good win rate too.
I'm so happy that Bolty is not casting here, you know.
Right. If you aren't Bolty, then let's not clean, I guess.
Yep. The number one Clint Glazer for sure. But you know, Debbie, I don't think so. We have to break it down what went wrong for the side of Team Signify that much, because it was pretty visible what went wrong. Firstly, the draft not really in the proper format that you want to go for against the composition that Team Olympus had. I think the Clint was not the best option for them. They could have gotten for something else as well. Maybe the Bruno and the Beatrix would have been better in this state, right? it's not like we are hating on the Clint, but given the draft, I think the Clint is very vulnerable. If your front line is not being able to hold up, and you just see there's a very huge lack of crowd control, except for the Zushin. There's not much crowd control that they can stop the dive with. So I think that was another factor that they were not able to stop the dive coming in from the members of team Olympus, and the Harley was dealing a lot of damage. Even Tyler was having a tough time.
Yep. That was why we see that it's very, very important to have a good draft when you are in a best of one series. I mean, best of one series are very, very risky. When you have a good hands on to your heroes, then it's actually fine. Play around it, go around it. And it's actually funny to see that there's a lot of damage into the hands of the director rather than for Sei, when Sei was the one who had the most kill. It says a lot about how...
Back at it.
We are back. We are back to
Back at it.
waifu again.
We almost
delete-
forgot about her. Yeah.
Can we delete
Oh no.
and put your waifu there?
Holy shit. Why do you want her to fight, bro? Why do you want her to fight? If she's not fighting for me, then she does not need to fight for anything else. That's the goal. Then again, ladies and gentlemen, this will be it for the games today. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for staying by. But the tournament is not over yet, so do come back by tomorrow. Same timing. More teams battling it out for the slots in the top 16, and we'll see which teams actually win it out. First of all, thank you to our streamer for really staying back and doing all this hard work, to the other casters, to the people working in the behind, and of course to my waifu first, then to Debbie, and to myself at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, viewers, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining in. The family will even expand tomorrow much bigger, so we'll see you tomorrow. I've been saying like a broken record now because Debbie is really hungry and she wants to eat the food. She's texting me on the WhatsApp, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow. Good night for now. See you and stay safe.